The following podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Nothing said on the podcast should be construed as investment advice, nor should anything said be relied upon as the basis for any investment decision. Any reference to an investment's past or potential performance is not and should not be construed as a recommendation or as a guarantee of any specific outcome or profit. All opinions expressed by hosts or guests on the podcast are solely their own personal opinions and do not reflect the opinion of everymickle.com or any company affiliated with the hosts or the guests. Hosts and guests on the podcast may maintain positions in securities discussed in the podcast. Neither everymickle.com nor its affiliates or subsidiaries warrant the completeness or accuracy of the opinions expressed herein, and they should not be relied upon as such. Strategies and investments discussed may fluctuate in price or value and may not be suitable for you. They do not take into account your particular investment objectives, financial situation, or needs, and they are not intended as a recommendation to buy or sell any security mentioned. Speak to a licensed investment advisor before making any investment decision.
Welcome to this week's BrickTalk. I'm Randy, and I'm a co-host, and we have a wonderful week here ahead of us. If it's your first BrickTalk, welcome. If it's not your first BrickTalk, then you're used to this part, which is what I call the early one, where we spend the first sort of along, just trying to ensure that we have the sound, the audio issues going smoothly. We work out any kinks very, very early, and we try to have a great show. Now, of course, can't work out live audio until you actually live, especially with Twitter. So that's why this happens. And so what we do is we tend to ask anybody who wants to talk first, or maybe just have a quick question or anything they want to start, or a quick conversation about anything at all on the market or stocks related. Instead of having the dead air, I encourage you to send a speaking request, and we'll answer. We'll turn you into a speaker on this, and you'll be able to talk to us and ask any questions that you may have. And it helps us to go through this time while we all just wait and twiddle our thumbs. You heard me fine?
All right. Yep. Fine. Clear.
Perfect.
All right. So we're going to market this week, Randy. How are you looking? How the market looking? Oh, Randy. Okay.
I'm hearing you fine. You're not hearing me?
I hear you. I just realized it's the thing there. The regular account jump off, but that's cool. Oh, yeah. How the market are treat you?
Same as usual.
I don't have to ask you.
Usual. The exciting thing, I think the exciting things are just I'm always excited about like the proliferation. There's a whole heap of dots, things that seem like they might be happening or about to happen. That show a lot. And now as we come closer to the earnings season of this quarter, I've seen a couple of things that we've been waiting on, and I've been hinting at it for the last few episodes, where there's a lot of things that were promised, or a lot of things that we expect to happen within 2022, the financial year, not the financial year, the calendar year, and we're in the last quarter of that, right? So
it's either go time or no time.
Exactly, and some things I think are just straight up go time.
That's why.
So things like we've seen Seprad. I don't know if that was last week or if we were on when it happened, but we've seen like Seprad.
Said they go release the thing. Yeah, I was thinking that was week before last.
And they spoke about it happening this year. Not that timelines can't change, of course, nothing is set in stone, but I think is interesting. And I think
that with a listing, intention matters a lot. Because that goes sometime. Things start, but I think based on there are ways, right?
And where there's a will, there is a way. Especially where there's
Indeed.
a will, there's a way. And I think for some of these things, there's many a will. Like I said, there's many a will involved.
Some very strong wills.
Yeah, some very, very strong wills. So some of these things I think have to happen. Shorting is one thing that I remember I actually almost lost a bit with a smart enough.
Which year is in the promise?
It was 2022, but Dr. Streetwise did say that, if I'm quoting her correctly, I think she said whenever she puts it out, she's saying by maybe next, it would have been the Monday of the following week. that at least one broker, but she didn't want to say smart, because other people would have been pressuring that broker now. Or maybe a broker does have it and we just don't know, right? Yeah,
Who do you think? Who do you think the broker would be? Did you just speak?
Yeah, you not hearing me?
Oh yeah, you're already gone crazy, bro.
I don't know.
Are you guys
I'm hearing you
Andy?
fine. I'm hearing you fine. Are you hearing me fine, Nana?
You're back now, but to me you're pretty low just now, so I don't know if it was
Some sound confusion there just now, Dana. But what I'm going to do is I'm gonna try one more time with the audio. All right, sorry about that. How about now, Dana? Is it clear now? All right,
clear,
great.
yeah.
So you were asking me which broker do I think would come with shorting first? That's a great question. I don't know. I don't think it's Mayberry. Mayberry usually, of course, top of the pack when it comes to doing certain things, but maybe VM. Maybe VM. They've been pushing pretty hard.
Yeah, I said NCB because they're the guys that seem to be there all the time, but then I said VM because they're pushing the retail, and they're often think they've been trying to be more forward, finance fashion forward. So they talk about crypto as something they want, and they want to encourage trading in digital assets. So they're going to allow that. Yeah, get me? So I would think that they'll be there with the retail shorting.
Boy, I mean, I like that. I like that idea. I think it's a plausible idea. But then the funny thing is, I don't have much else to judge it on, because I don't know how the JC is still. I still don't know how, like, what the implementation is going to look like. Yeah. And I wonder, from some of the things I've seen after that, I wonder if what they meant was that there is really a broker that's offering shorting on the
Separate
US
from
market. Separate. I don't know if that's what it was. Heavy assumptions here, but I don't think so. I think it would be local shorting because I mean, it was around the same time of them doing a whole workshop on the local implementation. So who knows? Who do you think it could be, or how do you think it might look?
What do you mean? Who I think it would be? I was thinking VM2. I started with NCB. I was going to say is either NCB or JMB, but then they seem pretty lax on certain things. But I think and JMB seem to be they want everything to run through Moneyline. So I figured JSC, they're making a wholesale thing. It's not going to be a Moneyline thing up front. And I think, more likely, like JMB might take a while to do it. And then VM, with where they are, it seems that they'll be the guys to be pushing that first.
Speaking about VM, you saw that article about
Riz. I have it open. I start reading, I never finish.
Yeah, and essentially, for the people who haven't seen it, it was that he bought the Globe. What was it? The Globe Furniture.
Building. Yeah, that building that everybody drive past. Half a tree know about for years.
Long time. Funny thing to me, it was that.
It's a legacy move.
I mean, Jamaicans love real estate and the idea of real estate. I mean, it's not a bad. Where it is, it can't go wrong. Yeah,
it's a good play.
That way,
yeah, to me, that's saying that. Yeah, cover and base easy.
I found it interesting that it said that he bought it. I found two things in the article interesting. One, that he bought it in 2020. Yeah, just smart. Pandemic bargains, maybe. What's it?
Bro, a nice deal there, and the person there been looking for years for something, don't it? Either they wanted a buyer or a tenant for years. So I figure
for long
we there bleeding out on this place. So pandemic walking and real estate market looking, people afraid of that. So good time to walk in. If you read or say, boy, it's not gonna last. more
Well,
than
I don't know. I don't know if there's any time where we're really scared, where the real estate market in Jamaica was scared.
But these guys, it's almost like I've always figured it's big money, like big money owned it.
Well, what you mean, own the
But
building?
it could not be that. It could be that the people that really want the tenant or the sale, money look nice at them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it I don't know if it's quite that way, because what happened is that the
No, the price
building
is
was set
surprising.
to be demolished for a long time. I think the owner just waited and waited and waited. It was in
Uh-huh.
courts for a long time, and then it
Mm-hmm.
my assumption here is that the laws, or the regulations finally adapted, because that type of building could be there. Maybe it was too close to the road or something. I'm sure if somebody know them, can come on and tell us about it. But point is, for a long time it was to be demolished. In fact, I think there was another similar building, an apartment actually close by it. I think memory serves me, on South Avenue, across from where South Avenue Grill was. I don't know if I'm still open.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be an apartment there, and I think it was also built too close to the road, and it was also in court for years,
Mm-hmm.
decades maybe. And that one eventually, like a good block, had to be demolished. But the Globe building, I guess, in age out until things change. But it's always just been that empty building. Sometimes it's great, like the marketers throw wonderful ads across it. So that's always.
To the price? The price is
68
$68
million. I
million.
thought that was great. I thought that was a great price.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a great price for a building like that. And that's me, who don't give a damn about real estate, but yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible. But then I thought, if it's 2 years ago that it was bought, the story out now, it just seemed like, that they're looking for, that it's like publicity to make it known that this thing is available and available at a cheaper price, right? They're renting it for a little over $1 million a month, or seeking to rent it to somebody who will come in and fix it up. Of course, the ever-present possibility BPO was mentioned.
That seems to be the strong mention.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. What do you think? Which BPO you think would list first?
Would list? I mean, I've been saying it for years.
5 years now or more.
Yeah. The one Mayberry guys well.
But they've been not saying that list. They're saying the usual near listing shy business.
Yeah.
Oh, we're considering it. Yada yada.
But you it's only like close, and then this only not so close again. But we're doing some big expansion, so I figured they got the money. They got the money they needed without the listing, and then see that then push the listing further down the road.
But
that's what it seemed like the last time.
Yeah,
I hear about it.
If I have it right, I think they wanted it for the listing, and I think the need. I think the need came up in a time where what's that clicking? Oh, that's you doing that clicking song.
Oh, my bad. I'm fidgeting.
If you're using if you're using like AirPods, you can make it do the voice isolation thing.
Oh no, I'm not using AirPods. I'll try to make it did.
Well, actually, I don't think it has anything to do with AirPods. I could be wrong though, but I think if you're using your iPhone, you can do voice isolation.
Oh, I'm not.
What was I saying? I've forgotten completely what I was saying. What did I just say before the clicking sound thing?
Boy. I know the people guys said, them too old money up on the thing there, because none of us remember what the hell we're talking about. Globe, ITEL, and it seemed to be at a time when...
Yeah, ITEL. So I think ITEL was listing and looking for money at a time when I think the finance space in Jamaica, the money space, started to adapt to the reality of, sometimes these people that ask us for money, if we don't give them the right kind of loan, then just list and we miss the chance. Or oh, there are some people out there who benefit a lot by lending and then listing, and they earn off both the loan and the equity. And so money started being a little easier to get to for certain things, and then for some businesses and some people, I'm sure the business option, I should say, it going. A lot of people listen, so they might not know it though.
Yo, Christopher Columbus might have been a financier.
In what way? Let's hear this.
The discovery.
Oh, you're funny.
You know, I'm always going to find something that's been there for a long time.
Yeah. Well,
but I'm the first.
That's good, because it means that the whole space started to adapt early, adapt quickly. Not quickly, but adapt in time. And so
what do you call it?
I don't know if it's more mature, but here's the reality. You don't like how when a whole heap of people go to when a whole heap of people go to open their brokerage account, they often get pushed instead to get a unit trust or one of those managed products. Yeah.
Oh yes.
I think what happened a lot of times is that when people want or might be interested in listing their companies,
they get cost of capital,
get
bro.
pushed on them. Not just cost of capital and all of that stuff, but things like also I can't join you today. You say I'm playing good cop this week.
Oh yeah, all right, sorry.
But just things like, they push the debt instead. Why did that? Why not? Let me just lend you 300 million instead of going to the market. Just crazy to me that those offers happen. I'll lend you 100, 200, 300 million instead of you going to this IPO thing, and companies take it. Because oftentimes, at least in my small experience, I've seen it accompanied with no matter go the stock market thing. You have people in your business or people they are hard time. And I know for a fact that there are business people who have made the choice to put their business under hundreds of millions of debt versus go to the stock market and do hundreds of millions of equity, get hundreds of capitalize the equity, the securitize the equity.
And the lens they go to those things though, again, to get that 100 mil loan. It's not the business they want, because they tell you, say, hey guys, you have a building? No, so you don't have any assets and want your balance sheet to be way more. So secure your house and the building for the business. Or your house and the receivables.
Yeah. Or the property and they also, and funny enough, sometimes I walk in the line here now. Sometimes the revenue line is also, the guarantees placed on the revenue line, not just priority on the debt, but like priority on the bill. Like you will pay this before that, or we will take X% of, say. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, not even thinking, I'm saying,
there's no way you're going to bed happy with this.
But they are. And when I ask and I talk in the cases where I've spoken, when I have talked to them, it's, but I don't want people in my business. I don't want the public in my business. I don't want the stress of the market.
One person.
And I'm thinking, the stress of the market versus the stress of the bank. And it's not like you don't have to do the same work. You still have to do your financials. You still have you have to be on top of your financials. Worse, no. But I guess it's a strange thing to me. To simplify it for anybody who might be wondering, it's like I've seen the decision made where somebody goes, would you like 200 million in debt? So you have a loan for your business, a 200 million business loan, or do an IPO where your company gets 200 million in cash. And your shares, which only exist in your mind and, technically it exists, will actually be no. Like you will open a bank account and can see the how much billion. Like it actually has a value separate from your day-to-day thing that you do with your company. Or in other words, your company get the 200 million and it doesn't have a $200 million loan. So you have the money and it's still nimble, and you personally are now unquestionably wealthy, and or
The bank will never ask you else
Take the
again.
200 million and a whole heap of strings attached. And it is surprising the kinds, because more than once I've seen and even more I know about where people choose the strings attached and the loan and whatever. Um, it, it's an interesting thing. That's what I said. I can't walk any closer to the line than that. I don't want to talk people business, and I wouldn't talk people business either. But it's a very interesting thing to me because it's literally, yo, you want to get 200 million or you want to borrow 200 million. I wouldn't think anybody would ever go, oh, I'll borrow it.
And Jamaica, we're afraid of that, you think so, right?
Yes, but it's a weird thing. So if you listen to this and you consider in debt or equity for your company or your hustle or whatever, the equity is not as bad as you think. You will be better off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My early opinion. What have you found interesting on the market so far? And by the way, let me just pause again and point out to people that you are more than welcome to send a speaker request and if you want to make a point or talk about anything or bring something up or whatever, or hear about the official topic this week is heroic bricks. I haven't officially started because I still want to try to get the sound thing on the computer right at least one time. And if you're wondering about a YouTube link, that's why there isn't any yet because I need to sort out the sound. But in the meantime, Dan and I talking, and you're more than welcome to join and give your thoughts. And they start ask about any stock or anything like that. Send a speaking request, and we'll be more than happy to answer it. And in the meantime, Dan, what interesting thing have you seen for the market this week? And you missed last week, so
This week.
maybe the last 2 weeks.
I'm terrible with that.
Well, what recently on the market?
No. I try to find it. I'm terrible with it. I'm trying. I'm gonna see. Because I know undoubtedly I see them. It's just recalling it in the same way. Especially when I never talk about it to nobody more than so.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I think what do sometimes is look through like what has come out. SVL came out. That's interesting.
Yeah. See that report come out. That report looking strong. SVL looking beautiful. Boy, and then in both Sony a lot like more to come.
Yeah, well, they most definitely have it in the dollar soap opera. Days of our dollar. Where you think the Access CEO going? Ex-Access CEO.
I was going to say Hurricane is no longer. I was laughing at that earlier today, to be honest, and saying, in the case where this man not doing anywhere to do with this, the conversation is going to be around dollar. It's going to be, is he going to dollar? Or is dollar why him leave? I can imagine that the chairman of Access is happy every time open the paper and something access to them hearing the next guy. Hearing the next guy more than thing there. Yeah.
He
but
must be so
where I think
annoying.
he's going, yeah. I mean, I do hope it's dark, to be honest. For the niceness of it, I think he can do a good job with this. But other places, I've been looking at SVL and wondering if there's a possibility there, especially then ramping up the loan portfolio, and that would also be as funny as a dollar thing. Just I wouldn't laugh at that one all out. I'd laugh I'd laugh with you about it. But yeah, SVL is a good possibility for me, and with all that they're doing now, especially where the loan portfolio is going to go, I see it as a good possibility to bring in somebody else to help build up more and more. Because go?
No, go. Let me hear. No,
something I need to check immediately now when I say that.
Well, let's hear it anyway.
I want to look at SVL. I want to look at the thing there, the leadership on the loan side for them.
They have Michaela, which is what everybody's saying, but SVL Micro. Does SVL Micro have somewhere? Have someone?
That's a
definitive
question. Yeah, that's a question on what the thing there. And Michaela is a part of the puzzle, but Michaela is Michaela, and SVL overall is SVL overall, right?
You know, much people don't think of that. I haven't thought of it, don't know. Or it's weird. I mean, there's no Michaela, and I think maybe it's good name recognition, and we have about it enough. But there, you don't hear a lot of. In fact, I've never heard. In fact, this is the very first time we've ever said it on here. I'm realizing. Which
Bro,
means I have
there's so
to
much
reset
possibilities with
sometime.
the SVL in just the microfinance. It just that little node, and that's just that small that thing is still a part of a greater. It's crazy to me. SVL can do. Just think of it. You know you thought of it. Just the amount of spin-offs they can do, and what.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, they can say this. The founder of thing there, SVL. What am I again? Of Michaela. At some point, say, all right, cool. See up the retirement thing. When I done with it, when I done with the work day to day. I'll be chairman of the thing, not necessarily. Sitting there doing the CEO work. I then go and just will list Michaela, SVL them 51. I list in 20 of mine, and then I'll see pretty on the rest of that generational wealth. And that then gives SVL so much things they can do with just a listed Michaela. Madness. SVL can do some really crazy things over there. If you want to sell piece, just dilute to the right amount. The right amount. Stop, make it happen. This amount. I don't know if I explain that to you, but just make the right amount of shares to list, issue them. Michaela raise money in the listing. Everybody good. And what they do with the money is just so much more there too. Gosh. Yeah. But that's a check. If Michaela, I think, that's not Michaela specifically, but on the SVL side, I want to say where if there's a place where he could fit in there. I mean, they could find something, but why they might not need it. So I think that's a thing there, or something there. So another one of the smaller, less talked about players.
Yeah, well,
Which could also be looking at listing more strongly now too. And we're going deeper into do listing work, as you always say. Like, I'm doing this BOJ something, man. You take all of this. And I've a couple competitors listed, and then more of them keep getting listed. Michaela get bought out. Think that Dollar Just list. ISP and access to the whole long, and the bank them done in the ring. Might as well me list too. I'm going to listen BrickTalk and hear Randy explain how margins work with a tax break.
I mean, no, I mean more one of the experts.
Sorry.
Yeah. I
I mean,
barely
those
know anything
guys
about
at
that.
Mayberry say a lot of good things, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Big Boss himself explain it one time too.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's had to explain that many times over the years. Just like people, I think a lot of people hear tax break and then really get the rest side. Is as far as they're concerned, that people look at accounting. I think the output from the company is accounting. So that's the part where most people see the company, well, not most people, a lot of people. If people that actually check the accounts and read them, that's your strongest interface with the companies most time. They don't think about them as real things beyond this point. So they're in the numbers, and then protection on the numbers. Everything they do within the numbers has to do with the numbers. They don't step out, they don't look up from the book and say, real life happening. I see this company doing X, Y, Z. If it's not in the newspaper, if it's not in the financials, they're not go so. Right? Yeah, I come with that thing there. Think of how them say. I think I'm losing my point too, think of how them say. What was I talking? Oh, the tax break. Think of how them see that. It's just, we thing there. In fact, you've heard it said by many finance people, many people within who work at the brokers, who work within the listing process say, I'm just at least with a tax break. As if,
it's
cool,
spoken about badly.
The 25% savings they go by your business.
Yeah.
Like, it does make, if it's even just that lameness, that's good enough to me. But beyond that, no. Again, if you're a real good finance guy, meaning if you're listing your company and all you hear from the tax break that your broker ever says as a benefit, and if you're the business person, if you have said your seat, but if all they ever say where you is, always save on taxes, you might want another, you might want another advisor to help with the listing, because them don't get it, and they probably will never get it properly going forward. But
I
yeah,
actually, funny enough, I haven't seen them do a lot of at least in my
they don't talk to business, bro.
experience, is that you're right. On the one hand, it's spoken of as a bad thing, which weird to me, blows my mind. And the second one is it's almost like, okay, so if you're really going on the road of getting the tax break, it's almost
What does it do
like,
for you?
no, it's almost like it's spoken of like almost like a shame, like nobody wants to talk about it. Like it's
Mhm.
kind of like a shameful thing.
Him again, the legal tax avoidance. Rich people don't talk about it, but it did it. It almost feel like that. Like, boy, you really go, you yield the man, you go onto the listing and go take the tax break instead of paying like the rest of us.
Really, really go St. Lucia.
Nobody says that, do they?
No, them said them rich man there are
No, man.
bro God.
I'm not. He said, but the funny thing is, I don't hear people who having that conversation talk about. They're not talking about the tax break from listing, or not. I mean, most times I find that the people that do that, the people that talk about the tax rate from listing, and then also talk about St. Lucia and government tax avoidance, they're often disingenuous. They just want a point. There's some political point to make. But the people that most people having a conversation, boy, bro, God, St. Lucia and do whatever, St. Lucia and do whatever. They're not talking about company going and get junior market listing. I don't find that conversation happening from them very often. Unless they know more about this thing, but they're being disingenuous with whatever, so they can, score a political point at some place.
But then that's the same sort of people who talk about the tax break like it's a bad thing.
I'm not talking about the finance people specifically. That say
That's
like,
who I hear talk about it
shame.
like it's a bad thing. Yeah.
But then I don't hear him talk about the St. Lucia thing as a bad thing. And it's smart. It's smart because you get dividends, you go through whatever, and you get a tax. Then they take the tax break for everybody. It's a great thing. And that's why the smart guy did it.
I'm not sure if many people really know.
Company.
I'm not sure if many people really know. I'm not sure if many people even really know the benefits.
I don't really think so, but I think they get a little piece of a conversation about it, and then they run with the rest side.
Yeah, well, tax break.
I've never heard the St. Lucia about it. It's always the smart guys do that instead of us, or smart guys do that. But then if you're listing you're just like a small company with your 100, your 40 to 100 mil profit, where you going with that?
That's true.
You want to save on taxes on top of it. Imagine.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. From you hit the nail on the head. From you say they think about the tax break they speak about it like it's a bad thing, which is weird to me. Instead of for 5 years you get a chance to flex a muscle that you couldn't flex. And you strengthen your company just by virtue of what it is. It's a stronger company. Even if it's crappy, it's better to be crappy as a listed crappy company than a private crappy company.
Yep. Boy, definitely.
Yeah, I always say that a listed company is a very, very hard thing to kill. And yeah,
somebody with knife in their chest and they shot in their back, and I don't know.
Somebody buried and kind of dead. Zombie. That's what them should change the tip.
Anyway, hear the great scratching.
Yeah. I mean, companies go through difficulties that would kill it. Remember, think of I'm trying to walk the line of which company start, but think about like
me too. Yeah, somebody not going to feel it. I think that's what I mentioned it.
Yeah, hold my feelings.
No feelings about mine, right?
Look on what's now MFS.
Yeah, SSL bro. If SSL VC was to the point where music.
There we go.
Then did dead.
It didn't even start as that.
Never really no conversation. Like the SLVC went up, and then it just felt abandoned, and then cool, up on the roadside, probably after dead. and then something could come out of it. But music, bro, nobody beat it. Like I can never tell you. Boy, I should really see if I could find somebody saying they like music. Or they expect a lot from music.
I think I was willing to give them a, let me not say that wrong, because people know that has different connotations these days. I didn't invest in it. However,
Well, but
what
anybody
they
there,
came to
it'll be
market
yellow,
as
bro.
music was.
What that? Randy? Yeah, I think you're speaking, but I can't hear you.
Sorry, yeah, I think something happened with my sound. Are you hearing me better now?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what happened with music was, I think their initial selling point was they're gonna be like almost like, definitely ahead of its time, like a copyright house or intellectual property house. So the guy was going to have like songwriting workshops. And I remember an example, I think, from the prospectus talking about Rihanna and how, like, even just a songwriting workshop, out of it you can get like a one hit song that's done, and that hit song blow up and you own some of the rights and anything get publishing. So it's a long tail thing, and it was
a dream.
it was from SSL at the time, so it was a dream, and it didn't work, and it died. But the company was still listed, and that company got bought back by same SSL, who turned it into the VC that more people know about now, and that died in terms of the effort. And now it on it, I don't know what is it, Third Life.
Yeah, Third Life. Hard man for that.
Damn. Yeah, a listed companies are very, very, very difficult thing to kill. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Imagine.
No, I'm going to try my sound again. So give me. Well, actually, no. Go ahead. Or some again. Thanks if you're listening to us. We're still audio only because I think I've been having major audio issues on my side. If you want to talk about anything, if you have a topic you'd like to talk, anything you'd like to ask us about, or hear us talk, speak on, send a speaking request, hit the speaking request button. We'll approve it and we will talk about it. Or in interim, you'll hear Dana and I talk to each other about stuff we find interesting, which is also pretty okay to me. Trust me, especially when my system giving issues. I don't mind a good conversation.
Boy, I see somebody just show some wicked shot.
Oh, you go.
The shout out to X Fund.
Ooh.
Dead, #dead company.
I don't even think I don't think X Fund was ever a dead company.
That's interesting.
Though.
I don't think that dead company.
Yeah, I don't think
the most I'll ever say with X Fund is that I think hopes were misplaced. Expectations were misplaced.
not even that way.
Things.
Hold on, not even that were expectations misplaced, like at the start.
Not us.
No, as in, yeah, just thinking about the idea, were expectations misplaced at the start?
At the start? Oh, no, I wouldn't say yes. No, I think it was fine.
I think like it seemed to me like an idea somebody had an idea and they tried it, and it's not an immediate idea. It's an idea that takes some time to pay off. So they bought the hotels, and it was like you're supposed to start getting hotel earning from the hotel investment you'd have made, which isn't going to be an overnight thing, right? They have it right. They own Jewel at the time. They own some other chain. Like it took a while.
Did they run Hyatt or something like that?
But I don't remember. It took some time to set up, and then they got it. Tourism started to take off. Jamaica, things started to work a lot better, look a lot better, and then then I think misplaced expectations moment came in, where some questionable, in my view, and I think as history has shown, some questionable decisions were taken.
Mm-hmm. Boy, I remember we did wicked, Randy.
For saying
For saying otherwise.
yeah, for saying that it's one. Yeah,
I'm finding those moments interesting, by the way. But it's how much of them we have now. I mean, not just a regular, like, or actual voiced opposition against you. We just say our opinion.
well, I mean, I don't know, but I hardly
I
even
mean,
listen.
I mean, I can think of two immediately, but that's
I
fine.
think it's that we hardly. It's not like we often come out and talk about companies in the same
I
way.
know.
Funny enough, I don't know if people. I say it on a couple of episodes. I don't know if people realize that I said that probably the only way outside of coming to Grow and we're having a conversation there, or if you're part of the Grow subscription, or if you link Danai to the Hall Advisory, apart from those opportunities to get us to speak our minds and talk about any stock, any of the 100 companies listed on the market, BrickTalk is the only chance that most people get to be able to do it. All they have to do is come on and pick a company, send a speaking request, talk about a company that they care about, and we'll have a conversation with you.
I always find it so funny when it's assumed our stance. Like we never had a conversation with anybody about that, but suddenly we had a stance there. I think just there seems to be some idea that we had a stance towards whatever direction. Yeah, I always find that funny. But hero picks, that's interesting. I saw the thing there. I saw the name and then I started going into it a bit. Hero picks, like a saving moment. I know. I think 2020 will do well for me there to speak about things I did then, because 2020 started good, then it became rough, and then I had to dig myself out of the roughness. I know you did the same.
Yeah. Well, paint the picture for people and for you. That's not a bad start to it. So we're talking about hero picks this week, guys, and so paint the picture. Like, what's the situation that the heroism was needed in?
I'll actually find out what the actual hero is. Going back to 2020, my trades, but situation 2020 starts. 2019 ends. Great year of all these things. Ending nice. I'm at a new level of money, talking about gains XYZ. And what 2019 was a great year for Signals. It's a year when everybody fell in love with Signals all over again. Not just the finance guys, but everybody fell in love with Signals. Right?
Was that their APO year?
No, the year before, when they had a strong run all the way to 29 or so. 29 and then more profits coming. Remember that? Jesus, that was such a nice expectations. And then it got APO'd in 2020. But Signals was doing well for me. I had a good amount of it at a real low price, because I remember we were buying, I mean, of course, buy passes, but a lot of my buyers were at 9 to 15 range. So my average price was really low, up to 27. Started 27 or so, hitting 29 at some points between the end of 2020, I think 29, between the end of 2019, start of 2020. I was saying I had a strong stake, I had margin against it. I was expecting good to come. So I was like, all right, cool. This is fine. And the ball didn't start. Transamaker, go on. Market bleeding. Then COVID had killed the market according to everybody. Boy, people pull it out. I know that because the next man beside it asking, boy, you think COVID really think that this nothing, you know what COVID them time that they say it was a Corona killed the market. I had a couple podcasts, people guests asking us what our thoughts on the Corona situation, or the people on Twitter begging us to talk about this Corona thing. So market hitting thing there. And I remember I didn't message you. And it's one of the moments where I was having the same thought. I said something to you, and the response to it was in the same direction. I was like, cool. But we see this thing, a lot of things were probably far down, trying to make a machine of the thing, and then the sentiment and the talking around it. Yeah, people already pulling out of places, people get pulling out hard. And how I want to say this? I'm not calling a broker name. It's not even the broker, the institution's fault. I still blame the advisor at the time. I told the person, yo, I've margin against this stock, but I want to sell it. And when give me the all clear, yo, you can go sell it. A lot of money there. Right? It was the most money I ever had. Right? It was good, strong stake. I mean, there was good money outside of signals at that point. I mean, meaning it was so a third of my portfolio or something overall. It was more than that, right? Because of the big growth, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not gonna try to lose against. And it's 27 or so, and I tell the man, yo, sell it XYZ. Just let me know. I couldn't do it through JTrader. I won't explain that fully, but I couldn't do it through JTrader. But tell the man, yo, sell it at 27, showing the orders in the queue. End of the day, me should be a 27 trade. And my boy tell me, say, oh, my shares not trade. I say, cool. Check the queue. It's 27 kind of looks steep. Still find at 25. You know, so every day, my shares not trade. Till it reach 17. I mean, overall, I mean, gain. Because, yeah, coming from margin, whatever, I mean, I was fine, really. It's just me saying at the start of 2020, I had X amount of money. After that big drop down, it was more than the third of our portfolio. After that big drop down, I was deep in, and I have to be paying, and then I sell cool margin coming to that. So when I was selling, the selling was to pay off a loan that was taken more than one time. I was to go up. So overall, I'm good. Profits made, whatever. But I know my year to date look ugly, and I lose a good amount of money on that. And I need to go make it back. And I should have been doing the thing I'm doing now. We're going back to 2020.
I wonder now, like, it's funny you said that. I mean, obviously I heard the story before, but thinking about it now, you think he was like front running you?
I would not be surprised, because it's based on conversations I've had with the person. They were leaning on my stock picks a couple times. Like, advisor would call me, yo, what do you think about this stock? And you know, of course, I get recommended. And then more the full play. I mean, sometimes it was fine because it was a conversation. But you could, if your advisor calling, if you are picking, you know how that go. So yeah, so I would not be surprised if him and him people have to sell before me sell, right? And he knows how much units I had.
Yeah.
I try not to exercise. I try not to run through that thought as the thing that may have happened. Because then you just get upset. I still believe him and said, cool, you lose the money because there's no way in hell you couldn't. I'm definitely the first person to tell you about this. When I was asking you about it, it was fine. Signals good, right? That, yeah. No, we can't get signals sold the other and other thing, but you have how other orders go through with mine today, right? So I do vex still. I still vex sometimes when I talk about it. But it is what it is. But millions lost. That's millions of dollars, right? Those cars. Boy, look on them by the fast reach 380 at the end of 2020. But 2020 was a long year. Had a lot of trades. Jeez, enough move we making up, bro. I'm here talking that recovery was this hard thing.
It's funny.
We got a lot. What am I talking about? Let me go this. Yeah, I have a hero trade, so no, I could actually go into it now because it was more than thing that some of them set up before. You know, the idea that we'll buy now, buy more later, and some of that, like I'm seeing at the start of 2020, lumber, heavy buy at the 165 because you know must be an idiot. The stock now moved much since IPO, buying a lot more, crazy.
Remember also that everything was going through how early 2020? January?
Yeah. Not a good, I think, yeah, 2020, January 2020. And that buy must have been stupid, bro. Because lumber was falling after that.
Well,
Colombo pick up
everything was
later
going
down.
through
I
the
mean,
everything
average
was
price
going
and
through
thing
the
was mm-hmm.
Trans Jamaica drop.
No COVID.
No man, it wasn't COVID
I
yet.
know, man. I know. I'm teasing, of
No.
course.
That's true. Because it depends on who you hear.
Nobody
Not
they
who you
say
hear
it's
from. It's
COVID, bro.
always said. Once they talk about that year, they talk about it as COVID. But no, people forget that a lot of these things started dipping from some of them
From
from the
before.
quarter of the
Yeah.
year before, Q4
Uh-huh.
2019. Everybody was excited about the Trans
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica and the road show was happening then. And
Bro,
yeah,
you think, right? It's interesting that the thing that they're selling stock to spend money on doesn't get the blame for why the stock is falling. Even though I'm the one selling, I'm looking crazily at the market saying, why? I know. So you're the one doing it, but you're not really, you have this idea that nobody else is.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's an idea that it's an idea that throws me off all the time. Well, it used to throw me off. No, I'm more familiar with it. I know I expect it actually. No, I look
Mm-hmm.
out for it. But yeah, so the hell of the setup is that just people have a better idea of what we're thinking about when we said 2020. There's a lot of, maybe you call them more blue chip people are worried about their blue chip stock dipping because a lot of blue chips, NCB was falling, GK was falling, if memory serves me correctly. A lot of things were falling. And a lot of it was around the
Sky.
anticipation of buying into Trans Jamaica, which was expected to list soon.
Mm-hmm.
Then it didn't actually list. I mean, it closed. Then we had the delay because it's such a massive IPO, and so many people involved. And then by mid-March, we're looking at COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I forget. I think the first COVID case was either March 3 or March 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So see,
And
Signals looking pretty. In fact, Signals far before March. Start definitely. I think February was strong at the start of that year. Like the whole that good all the way to February. March 3. Yes, March 2, big drop. Every drop, and so long tails on that candle. So it was falling, and I was trying to sell in the week before. Imagine it's a February, I try to sell, and this man make COVID catch my stock.
the more I think about the story now, the more it never really occurred to me that it might have been front running, but now it
So you
sounds
say
just
that
like
January just really sound like it now.
Yeah. I'd have to check that. That's one reason why I don't want to have to talk to anybody to do my trades. I was telling that to somebody today.
Bro,
Yeah.
again, you have the same experience of your broker is calling you. Your broker, of course, your advisor is calling you to say, yo, which stock for buy. That makes sense now.
Yeah. It's common. So what you think about this?
As much as it from the boy Marino, the market, whatever. But I know so bad. It's the fact that the boy doing it. This nigga say, cool, make a best. Time for make some money. Because Randy said.
Yeah.
Randy, every time when you call him for a trade, Randy said, you and him buy, and him client them too. If you go around then, Randy will tell me, say.
You get another call.
If not, him client them, say Randy said all the time. The market,
Yeah, well, I don't think
the market, the blame at that point.
Hold on. Tell me something. Does the mic sound?
It goes terrible.
Oh my God. All right.
But yeah, it's a weird thing. That 2020. All right, so you set up the story. So portfolio started to dip. Also, you not necessarily in a lost position, but you are not looking at as much
money
gain
at
as
start of the year.
Yeah. Granted, it's still early in the year, but you have less money than you started with a couple weeks ago.
And 3 months just gone, so 4 months, 2 months gone, March. But yeah, so I start going into thing there now. Pulling out, I know, like that was not a good psychological hit. At the time, it vexed, man. Burning up.
Yeah. So well, that's the situation. So you're down
Yeah,
heavily because of a
heavily
bad
because of that.
exit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I
And then
see
it's still
myself here turning around. All right, so I started buying stock.
so what was the
Strongly.
hero? Well, what's the first hero?
That's what I'm looking at now.
That's it. If you're just joining, we're just talking about hero stocks this evening. If you're wondering about the stream on YouTube, apologies, having some technical difficulties. So the stream is not working as smooth as it should. So we're not on stream, we're just doing audio. You're very, very welcome to join us and talk about a hero stock, either old story or something that you think of as a coming hero or whatever.
Oh, that's interesting.
We talked about a couple of them. Then I just telling us about his 2020 experience when he had a
You
hero
know,
stock.
what
So
sales? What was signal
setting
sales? I was selling some key at the time too.
your selling key
At the
2020.
time. But this is March and thing. I was selling in March. Oh God, I was selling signal so longer than I thought, bro. And I really have mix. Wow, wowzers. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what is we'll get the moment that the hero needed. What was the actual hero stock?
I walk in, I see them buying some Pulse at 250. A lot of those.
Yeah. This is
And
where March
to May, I was buying Pulse and Barita.
Pulse and Barita, cause Barita. Okay, Pulse. Boy, I think if there's anything as a hero for the whole 2020, Pulse was it.
Strong, man. Strong.
Yeah, man. Pulse was
And I was
mine.
buying
Around the
enough,
same
man.
time. Around the same time. I can't remember what was happening with Pulse then, though. What was obvious was that I know that they were going to look to fund some operations, some new things, and I knew that they were seen as they're not seen. Yeah, they're not seen.
And then
they're seen as,
suddenly
the
the
modern
real estate
company.
money did read.
Yeah, that nobody never really look at. And then you see them start to position themselves more openly as or more directly as Pulse Investments. And they're making more moves then, and I think I predicted that. Well, you know what goes into a lot of the predictions, especially I had our own Pulse at the time, and I shared it with some people also. And
well, when we shared some of those with some people, we fooled that.
yeah,
Really
I do remember that. I remember being asked that.
Modeling company.
Yeah.
Gold
But he was a hell of a hero.
Yeah. But see me, what a wicked youth. After Fontana done mash up the place. No me that I buy Fontana in March for $4 something. And I say it back at $6. Wow.
How quickly were you selling it at 6?
April. That's a time.
Well, that's like the first of COVID is in Jamaica, so.
Yeah, man. So Fontana made no sense. It was interesting because we were watching people talk against Fontana while saying they're saying it's a bad thing, but then explain why it's a good thing. Remember those conversations? Boy, Fontana in the pharmacy thing and explains why Fontana will make money from it. It's a bad thing. And the conclusion is it's a bad thing now. But then, them real of Fontana. I think, yeah, man, jeez, that's interesting.
And the fact that it was, nobody even know it was this thing, everybody's sick. So medical companies stand to benefit the most. And what's a medical company? Fontana have a lot of mind share, top of mind for a lot of people. So immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Me again.
Does it sound terrible again?
Yes. You can't catch a break, brother.
Trust me. Yeah,
Why?
so immediately, I think it's top of mind, so a lot of people rush into it. Yeah.
I was in a lot of trades dead, man. Come on, go buy Genac. So yeah, Pulse, Genac, Fontana, Barita. Bought at different times leading into May, April. I was selling out of Fontana in April. Bought some Genac 450 452. Let's see, mailpack release in 2020?
Late 2019. Actual listing, yeah, early 2020. Early 2020 is when, a lot of the hype the initial spike would have passed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they actually listed either the second.
So I would say it's a hell for quite a while.
Weeks.
Into 20. I saw that good amount though. Well, made some good money on it.
You went into 2020 with it, or you bought it 2020?
I didn't buy it in 2020, but I went in 2020 with it. I'm not
That's
seeing any
IPO volumes.
buys. Yeah.
Or close to
that's
IPO
interesting.
volumes.
I'm not seeing any. How much? I'll check out it before 2020. Then time you could have put in your order and get through.
Yeah, that was the time where, and Mailpack was very, very popular. I remember the market was on a tier in terms of interest, because early 2019 you had your weekend that brought a lot of people to the market.
Mm-hmm.
Then Lab, then like mid 2019 there's Lab, then there's something, I think Fosrich was later 2019. Am I remembering that right?
Fosrich. No, Fosrich. I'm on Fosrich list 2017, 2018.
What's that about Fosrich that was interesting then?
Fosrich was the same time as G West, Wisynco, VMIL. Everything they closer together.
Yeah. There was something in the third quarter of 2020.
2020? I think that's
2019. Sorry, not
2019.
2019.
I think isn't that when anything there? Isn't that when you move into the $4 range more strong? I think you fall into the 2 something.
No man, I'm thinking in terms of IPO.
2019? Nothing like that. 2018 in this one.
No man, no, not saying Fosrich. I'm saying
Lab?
Lab was July.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something after Lab. There's something between Lab and there's something between Lab and Mailpack. Matter of fact, 2019 was really a year that really made a lot of people pay attention to the market,
Mm-hmm.
It started out with Fontana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like either first or second week of 2019, it had Fontana. It had quite a few listings.
Yeah, I'm finding it interesting.
What's that?
That March 2020, if you check it, like I've seen a good amount of dips across a good amount of stuff. And I remember yeah man. I remember the balling then was fearful if others are greedy. Like if it's like after the recovery coming, like when you're checking it, they were not a lot of greedy when fearful as much as the tweets would imply.
Yeah.
That's almost never the case.
Yeah, that's easier to say than it is to do. And that's for people that have more experience. For people that don't have as much experience, I mean, I'm watching the news and I'm hearing stocks are down. No, people watching news and hear stocks are down in America and think that it must mean that things are bad on the JC. So imagine then, every stock market in the world is dipping, and things were dipping, right? The stuff that the news and everybody can understand was dipping. NCB, everything was dipping in that March, the COVID dip, the Corona dip. Yeah, that was a time. But
I think after the heroes, Pulse and Barita. And then first step here with what name again? Wait. Let me read this word. Fontana. And I see like I'm going into thing there. Right name again? So I mean those were the heroes, I guess. But beyond that, what I remember I was talking we buy I don't know if he definitely did buy separate at that time. Well, I think he did. Separate and then Jam Tea with them thing there. With them thing.
Seprad. I have bought Seprad. And
I
I
was
think
separate
I'm
on
looking at
50
separate,
or
but as
no, it will. What you think
as timing it was JP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want JP for me was a hero. The hero I was looking for that JP for me is Gotham looking for Batman, and there's no Batman. JP that was a hero that did not come my way at all, boy.
So
I
you're
bought
grabbing
that
miss.
thing. Yeah, so let me set the stage for that. COVID has hit. Everybody's scared. Don't name COVID yet. It's still going off its first name. The sickness formerly known as Corona. And we're not really sure. At that time, I'm thinking, I might have even tweeted it. These things happen in business. How the world work, it can't last more than a quarter or two. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, not that the thing can't be around, but the big reaction where everything stopped cannot continue, and that can't be the normal way going forward. Funny that was right, but it turned out not to be right in the time that we thought, because, or the time that I thought, because it certainly did change and has changed for we look at business and business around the world, right?
Indeed.
So in the start of that, though, we don't know what name, and we don't really know what it is. It's still Corona. Uncle Trump still actually running the White House, denying that it exists, except to say that it is from China.
China.
And
the fake virus is from China.
China. Anyway, in the middle of that, I'm looking at JP and I'm looking at the whole juice division. We're looking at Europe. I'm looking at the fact that them have that great presence in Europe, and consumption I know is shifting from the mass places, the outside, the bar, the party. People more thinking about them health. I'm assuming here, I'm thinking that part of Europe, the health conscious juices selling more and more, and people buying from the supermarket and going straight home. Everybody under lockdowns, right?
Mm-hmm.
And JP has one of the most popular juice brands in that country. Fresh juice brands, and of course, fruits still shipping, not quite as much, but fruits still being shipped. Things still happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I was looking then on the increase in shipping, the obvious increase in shipping to home, the obvious the switch in the consumption profile. So supermarket, more food from the supermarket, more things shipped directly to your house, yada yada yada. That's what I was seeing at the time. And with all of that in mind, I'm figuring JP at $21 or $22, well undervalued. Obviously undervalued, and obviously people gonna realize a little later on, say, oh, this thing is really value for money, and then they're gonna blow up, right? And that's when I learned that
So fundamentals don't move prices.
That is when I learned. Just a nice reminder. I said, hold on, the limitations of fundamentals in this thing and the reality of investing.
I think we both have good stories of, what do you call it again? The emotions when investing.
Oh God, yeah.
A bad story, like just whatever happened in our portfolios going just from that big drop off. It's just you then turn around and say, the next step is not going to be easy. You have so much things working in your mind against that next step. You probably the oversight might have come from there, or really, probably fully learned the lesson yet, but you probably not see it better then.
Boy, maybe that's the learning of the lesson. Or for me, my head tough, so sometimes I have to learn my lesson them 2 or 3 or 4 times. Mm-hmm. But that one hit me hard, boy, because also I learned good and bad lessons from that. So the anti-hero. Mm-hmm. One, the good lesson is, it was a good reminder in the limitations of fundamentals, what the typically thought of fundamentals.
Yes.
In the in active investing, actual investing on the local market. And I don't want to say the limitations of fundamentals, because not because
I know
it pisses some people off.
I know exactly what you mean, but
Yeah, it bothers me because it will be set against. It will be set
No, no.
against. It's not the limitations of fundamentals. The fundamentals of every market are the actual fundamentals, and they're not ineffective. They are the most effective thing. But you can misidentify a lot of things as fundamentals when they're
Just
not.
because they read it somewhere else.
Yeah. Just because somebody calls it a fundamental doesn't mean it's a fundamental. Anyway, so there I am looking at it, and I'm thinking this is a company, of course, that the typical investors love. So everybody and them cousin going to love JP in a while. When them start hearing these profits and something that is giving growing profits in a space where everything else is dropping and everything else is scary and companies losing revenue and we don't really know what is going on with this thing. A company that is coming out that is giving solid money, blue chip, you know the money was going to be dedicated to it, right? And yeah, nothing. Buy it at maybe 2021, figuring give it a report or three and you'll see it going all the way up to 30, 40, whatever. You never know, right? Outside reaction. I try not to be too specific with what my plays were. But yeah, it's like the JP lesson sealing that quarter boy. JP lesson being
that's also feel double bad, you know, because you just come out of it. You're this is a hero time, so you're looking for that recovery, and then boom, boof.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the easy way to tell the JP hero lesson. What I'll say the JP hero lesson is this. It is now 2022, October 21st, 2022. JP obviously is not that Corona or COVID done. We're just done with it. We have it in its place now, and industry is back. JP remained strong during that time.
JP got stronger.
Yeah,
COVID did not work against him as much as
did the sensible thing and acquired companies. They acquired a shipping company throughout COVID, so that they handled the shipping of fresh fruits. Eastern Caribbean, they pretty much have that locked with fresh fruits and all the stuff that they do. I think they move now into even moving things from Central America into the space. Then Kingston Wharves is only stronger. Kingston Wharves is the one, if not at the time, was definitely the biggest in the logistics division. Maybe it's no longer. And all of that has happened since JP themselves have moved their profits up heavily, their revenues up heavily. And JP share price today, 2 years later, is $19.56.
So less than it was then.
Yeah.
The stock price of an inverse relationship with the business.
Yeah, man. I learned that the JP $22 to $25 lesson. And it taught me a better lesson about the market. It's so funny. The things that it taught me about the market in terms of the reality of the market and the reality of the layout of the market, the power in the market. Yeah, seeing the edges of it then in a more real way. Now it's just the default of how I see the market. Like that lesson, that anti-hero. Yeah, that anti-hero taught me a whole lot more about the local market as it developed and what was possible. Yeah, anti-hero. Real
real anarchist.
yeah. You know, it's the Jack Sparrow of the whole thing. Yeah, just the fact, the lesson is feeling to the fact that the share price now is lower than it was then, and the company is maybe, I don't want to exaggerate. So the company is maybe twice as big. I don't want to say twice as big. The potential, they've gotten better. Their numbers have gotten better. The share price has not moved. And it was a good reminder at a good time also that you can't invest against other people's definitions or other people's thoughts or other people's. Everybody knows a thing. The typical thing that's said by people who haven't actually done the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good reminder at a good time because it set the stage for the rest of the year.
And yo, bro, so I somehow I think I did it because of, okay, so why I didn't speak about this one, I'm sure no. And I said I was selling key at XYZ at 11s, 10s, 9s, and that was after the signals in March. But the things we were doing before, bro, we were buying key at 3, 2,
Yeah.
all the way into my.
Yeah, key was awesome.
Key was a hero because when this thing started go bad, key very quickly was all right. We're going good over here.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't going good over there. You mean like we're going heavy over there because?
Oh yeah, man. So I think like soon after the March dip, whatever, key was up strong from no dip. If it was a very minor dip for them, it was like $3 something to $3 flat to $2 enough, and we're buying into that. So think about that too. We're doing that simultaneously. So we're watching one side of the portfolio bleed out and I sell out, and we're like, look, I've made this sensible move still, more key it is.
And the timings around key were
beautiful
much,
because then I said we were selling, and I look at the chart at the point when we're selling, and that's right before boom drop to $5 something. And then guess what comes after that? Buying again.
what was then early? That'd be early 2020.
Yeah, man. So it early 2020, like from January, I seen buys. January, I saw a heavy amount of buys for myself in February and March. Then some selling in May, and then buying back after that.
Let me check. I've been trying to fix the sound thing, so I haven't actually been. I've been going from memory and not my notes. But it's easier if I look at key. Remember key? I'd have been timing it and talking about it from 2019 because at that point I was expecting the sisters to fail. The sisters to fail in their idea. Remember they had a right issue that they pulled back.
Issue.
I think late 2019.
Yep.
Yeah, I think late 2019 had a right issue that they pulled back, and it was, I think, the go sign. It was very much a go sign to me that all right, what's expected to happen. I'm trying to remember when the actual news would have come out.
We looked at it the other day, didn't we?
Say that again.
We looked at it the other day on BrickTalk too. Did we? Was it BrickTalk? I know we did. Cool. Yes.
Yeah, I don't even try to remember these days. I just got check. So I think GK is saying that they're taking over key would have happened around that time.
I have a thing in front of me.
Yeah, am I
September
remembering wrong?
2020? No.
So the key
2019.
Yeah. No, that was that. I remember.
Turnaround plan.
Correctly. No, the takeover bid came over. The takeover bid came over in January. Came out in January 2020.
But this was after the key put forward turnaround plan, rights issue consideration.
So the rights issue was late 2019, as I said. November going into December. By December, they withdrew the rights issue because I remember that they're thinking
deliberate,
but I said
rights issue deliberation and then deliberation again.
They couldn't continue. They can't continue. It was obviously that they couldn't do the rights issue because if they had the money to defend the state, they wouldn't be in this position anyway. So that's an example of a company that's hard to kill because the original owners, the legacy of the founders, ended up having to sell it. And imagine if they weren't listed. This is an example of things going bad in something that is is an example of things going bad in something that is listed, and it
Mhm.
work out, in my view, better for the people that were involved in the thing that did not go well, the
Mhm.
owners.
Mhm.
Because I mean, they got to sell a stake. They sold a stake for some
GK
millions. Well,
millions. But you say you get an exit on something that never work out. But anyway, again, there's inherent value in just being listed.
yeah, yeah. Because if
This
that
is
same
or
company was
something. It's
private,
not a commodity. My business is not a commodity.
yeah,
And
exactly.
all the benefits of that, of being listed, are within that. So, boy, the business would have dead and, well, Siboney has no business. But the listing is there. You can still buy and sell the shares for more than $0 every single day, just because, yo, if this is a listed company and the company being listed is enough of itself for some level of value. Not a lot, but that depends on who you go there, right?
Yeah,
Depends on who's looking.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. I of course wouldn't. I didn't. I hear enough headaches about the Siboney thing that I always point out when you mention that's a dead company.
Yeah.
It's not for you to get
Oh yes,
into.
definitely. Trust me.
I remember a lot of the talk around us mentioning Siboney at the time and how that was chosen to be interpreted. I have to say chosen to be interpreted because the
It
things I
must be
hear don't make
a choice, man.
sense. Yeah, it has to be a choice. That's
They
going through
say
stupidity.
stupidity is a
But
choice. Who said that?
yeah,
Kanye?
the artist formerly known as. Um, and and yeah, the Siboney is as you said an example of it. But Key is an example of it failing. If what happened to Key then had happened in the same way, but had happened to Key as a private company. If nobody don't want to buy it, I could see
Yeah,
it
exactly.
just going out of business.
Just go. Yeah. Then
Yeah,
again,
just dead.
they mean the insurance, but then it's insurance. I can't see nobody. I can't read nobody wanted to buy it. To be honest, yeah,
Yeah, it's just your
I can see
competitor
that.
dead. That's good.
That's good.
More, more,
I mean, in
more.
fact, they were bought out by the competitor.
Exactly,
Yeah.
That's true. And somebody who may have had to file for bankruptcy or them finances get crushed for the rest of their life, instead end up with that actual with tens if not hundreds of millions in their pocket, and the company is still existing. And you have the option. I always think in a situation like that, why wouldn't I immediately buy shares in the company that is buying out my company? Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I was looking for
Interesting.
that from 2019, and in early 2020, it what I was planning, what I was seeing from a long time, and expecting to happen. And GK put out their official offer, the official offer to purchase Key, um, in early 2020. I think January 2020, if memory serves me.
Yeah.
And that was if you know if
Take over a
you
bit. And the resignation starts flying, man. Jesus.
yeah. So the what I remember happening was that what
I
I remember
remember the
happening.
conversation then. Like key results come out, and it's almost like people expected something great in the results. I mean, during all this, oh yo, we are not okay. Things are going bad. We're gonna post more bad results. I mean, I thought that was understood. But then,
No,
how are you guys buying Kia? What the? I'm like, it's weird, man. It's weird. Gosh, wow.
well, I don't mind. I would
But
not
then
change
again,
it
the same
much.
thing I said earlier, right? Where the companies leaving their reports.
Mm-hmm.
Real life is not. Real life is secondary. As long as the accounts come out, then that's all they need.
Exactly. And the
And the accounts have to
typical
come out
thing is
before you buy, because you can't determine the price. If the account, if you believe in this company, and when the report comes out that says the right thing, you can tell us how great the company has always been, but you never buy when it was great and not showing it. That is interesting. I think that's a wide spectrum of people. From boy, I mean, I really know boys accounts and maths and stocks thing. But me know say GK I go do XYZ, and that should do well for them. To the boy, I know this accounts and maths and whatever thing, but I'm not going to look forward. It have to be accountable to what happened last quarter for me to get up and decide if it's a good buy for in the future. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. And boy, again, I
How
don't
often
mind.
think about that too? I think the convo I know. We often hear about boy, the market isn't mature enough. But think about it. That's a talk the same people saying that kind of thing. But if you check like foreign markets, like the US that everybody loves to talk about, coming results, expectations based on now for coming results is a part of the thing. It's known. I'm looking forward. We're looking forward to this next quarter because XYZ, not because the report will come out and give us the view, but because it's more because boy, my view is going to be either confirmed or wrong, right? And my expectations around the stock price have a lot to do with me being right at the right time, or the expectations of the rest of the market based on the things I'm looking for in that coming report. It's not, boy, the report behind me will read it and think that. So if we do this, market not mature, but the market is the people.
If somebody said the market not mature and they're in the market, they're speaking about themselves.
Yeah.
I don't mind though, like I said, I wouldn't change that thing.
Me neither.
I wouldn't change that thing.
I mean, we can take up. We can. I'm not going to stand in my own way, right? So
Exactly.
it will change at some point, but I'm not rushing it. It will do it on its own without me bothering.
Yeah, I think it's getting there. I mean, just like I said, if somebody said the market
definitely
is not mature, they're talking about themselves. And if somebody thinks that the market has potential to be mature, is mature, then they're also talking about themselves. So I just choosing to be the type that sees the market as having not just the potential, but the things that are actually happening. What's funny?
If you've been in the market for any while, like since I've been in the market to now, wildly different in just how investors behave or investors react to things. Like we said the other day, you used to see this thing report come out and then that's the point where it fly. But now you see, I don't want to say it. Now you see expectations playing a part more. Yeah. But then I used to see that way more often. Report drop and then, yes, profit, boom. And even then.
Sorry, I get you. I hear talking to myself muted. Sorry.
Muted.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Even then, it's. I didn't understand what you're saying before, but I get it now. You're saying you're hinting at the fact that how people buy stock still because they expect the company to give good profit, and a lot of people also say that. Even more people say it than the people who actually do it.
Yeah.
And it has an effect, and you can see the effect, and you can see how the people that are having the effect are having the effect, and it's not always matching.
Report up on it. Everybody waits.
Well, you know what, people, if you wonder what we're talking about, oh my God, listen to some of the old earnings season, even listen to some of the old BrickTalk. There's a BrickTalk where I explain exactly this to somebody, and if you're on YouTube, you see, I show it. I show it's just one example, but I think it's a powerful, sensible example, and it's important for you if you're interested in learning about the market. It's it's something that I don't usually show for free. Having said that, I remind people, you can, as much as Dan and I are talking, it is an open conversation. Feel free to send a speaking request, jump on, talk about a hero stock or two that you may have known or are thinking of as heroes, because there are heroes to come. And they've been heroes this year, and they're heroes all the way back. Dan and I were talking our way through 2019 into 2020. The COVID time, the time when the market was very, very popular. Everybody didn't know anything. And then suddenly, as has gotten popular 2 years later, Radam. A lot. I say more at grow, and I'm picking my words in terms of what I want to say here, because I like to give the grow up people their due, their extra. But yeah, that early 2020 hit me and hit Dan I in a way that it was very, very clear that Boy, if you think you're actually good at the market, now is the time to cut your teeth. But I'm saying that in a no with a retrospective editorial point of view. But then we weren't saying that at all. We're just it's the same thing.
In
We say
the
like I
moment,
said
I
all
say,
the
"Oh,
time.
fine
Yeah.
it."
Yeah, I don't lose money.
Gotta
And,
make back
wow,
this
this
money.
look like it look like I've lost money. I don't lose money, so the money I have to make back.
Can't tell
And that was across the board. Then I mentioned his hero key, one hero key that we both shared. That was a not well in touch on one from before, which is Pulse. I know we spoke about Pulse that was a good lesson and caused a whole heap of gain from him and myself for 2020. And
My God.
my anti-hero, which was JP, which taught me the lesson around some of the limitations of the market and actually doing the thing that you say you're doing, not just saying you're doing it, like actually following through fully. Doing it, like the people in the girl group know I'm a stickler for some things. Like people say, there are things that we say all the time in investment space that nobody really checks, nobody see if it really goes so. People just talk and just say anything. And if it sounds financy, a lot of it will pass. People let you get a pass with it. I don't do that because of the same JP lesson. A lot of things are said but not actually stress tested. You don't know if it really goes so. Even on BrickTalk, you hear me ask people, "Are you sure? Did you check?" Little things like that. JP for me was a lesson in that, and that was my anti-hero. And then I has gone on to talk about the other hero, which was like I said, not Pulse but Key. And if you had another hero or an anti-hero for them.
Anti-hero. Let me check. Did I? How was I buying that? Never really work out. I mean, I mentioned the lumber buys, but they did work out, and that's just where I was looking at it to do whatever.
Well, it's not like you don't have to. It's not like you don't have to work out, but did you learn anything from any of them?
Oh, certainly. Well, I'm finding one I like. Channel. He's a wicked youth.
Yeah. I know the difficulty also in that, at least what we talk about privately, like what serves as a lesson. People often think that the only thing the fear rules the market so much that the lesson is always lose money. Majority of my lessons don't come from losing money. Yeah, I don't lose money. A lot of lessons come from.
That's funny,
you made
we speak about wins so
made
much,
10.
and we speak about the things we learn from it so much, but you don't hear that at the top. That's interesting.
But it's seen as boasting. People want humility is that you should say that you lose something and that's what you learn. People want to hear that.
Oh, you know what my anti-hero was? And
What's
that's
that?
interesting. JMB.
Ooh.
I was hoping.
Ooh. What time?
It's not a lot of money spent.
Yeah, that
2020
like
March.
Ooh.
Oh yes. March.
When did they do their APO?
2019. I remember it was quite a while before they listed the shares, I believe. So the price was higher, and then the shares started flooding. When the shares flooded and listed shares, that's when the flood happened.
When did the shares actually get assigned? I'm trying to remember.
That's what I'm looking for. Jesus, the man didn't do the APO.
But remember, the APO was in going into that
October.
exciting time, the aligned best time.
Yeah, man. And I had good ideas for the APO. I thought, this thing, people will look at it. And I think it's probably the same lesson. The fundamentals were about to look great from this Sagicor, and even I used some working on Twitter. If this goes so, then this is what the profits will look like. I did some trade with that, and I was man. I think I checked 2019 for about any, but I see myself buying at 38, 37 in March.
2019 or 2020?
2020, sorry.
Okay.
When does the APO shares touch the market?
No, my APO shares I think were allotted and assigned not too long after. they're allotted in
That's
late
interesting.
20. Say that again.
That's
Late
interesting then.
2019.
Sure.
If I'm sure, no,
Yeah.
I'm scoring to be Okay, they had their they closed the APO early, and that was like in October.
Uh-huh.
Not October. Yeah, that's the middle of October.
Mm-hmm.
Or they adjusted it. I'm looking at a notice from October 15, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago. Wow. Where they
Yeah.
they said due to the overwhelming response to their APO at the time, they elected to close the offer earlier than the previously scheduled closing date of November 11th. So the new closing date was moved up to November 7th. So they moved it a week
Yes.
ahead. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the allocation, the basis of allotment came out November 15th.
Mm-hmm.
And they did bottom up basis. They said a bottom up allocation, yada yada yada. Looking forward the public got non-reserve shares oversubscribed 341%. I mean, that's a nice thing to say. At this point, I'm tired of seeing that now. That
Wait, this.
oversubscription thing, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think
truly.
that,
There are chatting, you know, bro. Like
yeah, it
oversubscribing
is.
is proper chatting.
Yeah, literally no use. It means nothing. But yeah, but it has meaning, but limited.
It has meaning, but not in the way companies talk about it.
Yeah, not at all. But I mean, I let people talk. It's happy to have people happy about the market, even if you know it's rubbish. So the allotment, the basis of allotment came out the middle of November, November 15, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna assume that the shares are available a little after that. There was like heavy trading, and I can't say heavy trading too much in the months after that, the weeks after that, November.
So
I
honestly
honestly don't remember, but I don't. You sold it at a loss? I probably sold it at a loss too. I have another anti here I'll talk about a little later on.
37,
Maybe
38 I bought it for. And then I sold all the units. I never kept it long after all. So bought in March. And by April, end of April, I said no bother. Sell it at 35,
Word.
80. Everything out. So
Well, what did you buy it? How much you bought it for?
The price, not the average. The price on
No,
the
just
market.
you said
37 and 38. 37, 38.01. The bulk of it was at
Word.
38.01. So that must have been a deal for me, buying at the APO price.
Yeah, because it was dipping crazily from like February come down. Yeah, by the middle of February it was at 45. By COVID March, Corona March it was at 39. And by the end of March it's at 34. That's a hell of a drop. And it went on to fall even more, going on as low as 29 in September and October. 20. What's crazy, you're talking about 3 years ago, and 3 years later today, JNB share price is still just $38.21.
Yeah, man. They got a brand new balloon made of iron.
a balloon that a golden balloon, because it is.
Yeah, fly car bus. Oh yeah, man, golden balloon.
Yeah, man, it generate money a fret, but boy,
it was heavy. Heavy, full of weight.
Yeah, boy. 3 years later, there are people that are sitting in that waiting still at 38. There are people who bought on the market at 38, you know, in the APO at 38. 3 years later, they're still at 38.
Rough. And see how CFF, them stock split. Boy, what a time.
Wow.
General.
That's the APO lesson. That was probably a good
detail APO them time too.
That was probably a good APO lesson. That was, I think, the start of the
Jano start. This thing don't really make sense, you know.
Yeah. Like I was looking at the effect of it, because during that time I'm looking at the effect of it on the market. And I'm thinking, what exactly is what's happening? And this part of, at the same time as JP and everything. So I'm saying, no, let me stop and take stock. Let me not just run off gut and feeling. Let me take stock of what I'm actually doing and what is actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but hold on. I mean, I was never a fan of the whole APO thing, from the jump, but I was a fan of
Mm-hmm.
what could come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I hadn't mapped out the effect properly yet. I just generally against it from the point of view of the dilution. I never think it through. Then I started thinking through, and like, no, this thing is going to hit this company for a long time. So said, so done. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
3 years later.
I think
damn.
when you first hit a podcast, it was what happened when all those shares hit the market.
Yes.
And you're
What will
watching it
happen?
real time. And you start watching it real time and see.
3 years, and it went as low as
And then you think about it too,
$28.
I bought it at, said, oh my God, it was the first APO. So the selling and it was, remember JMB had a mad rush before that. Remember JMB been slow. 2019, it finally legs and was flying, going to the APO. And I think a lot of people were expecting and hoping on that because it coming from a point where it coming from a low point. Jesus, it going back to 2019. It would be, wow. 2018 to 2019. So April, how far back does it stay in that range? So from September 2018 to April 2019, JMB was in the 30s range. And then it starts soaring up to the 50s. And that was a nice, good story. APO come along and was up there to 45. And I think of people that bought in the APO 38 thing there, but them see the profit. And it's the first time an APO comes.
Yeah, but also remember what was happening. Hold on, remember what was happening around it. It's not just
everything
APO
was
and
good.
It's so nice. People like the idea of APO. It sound like IPO. The marketing worked very well on the masses. And
I think people were waiting for the next set of profit to come.
Exactly, because they had just bought Sagicor.
So it's at 45 now before we even get the shares. It can go fly, don't it?
Yeah, I remember.
So I'm good with the 45 gains.
The talking around
some more.
The talking around it is that it was undervalued, which it was at the time, and they're making a big move. They're making a big move. We even had the marketing exec from the group, and we had them on earnings season podcast a couple of times, and talking about even that, literally that whole aligned vesting and what they were. I think at a point they wanted to get out, which is linked to other bigger things. But yeah, JMB was a stock to be in, and then the reality of what they were doing with the APO and its effect on the market. I don't think anybody was really thinking about the market. And like I said, when I took stock of it, it's the same thing. I don't remember if I sold at a loss. I can actually go check. I don't know if I sold at a loss. I may have.
We can imagine them panic hitting hard there, so because I've been waiting. Profit, then one day none. And then it was everybody's out. Or try to be. But then a man buy. Oh gosh. This creates some JMB haters and some fans. Everybody that was buying from these people still up to 2021 saying, why? Undervalued must come back.
Yeah. There are people that bought it between July and not even from July, from the COVID dip. By the end of March, it had fallen to $34. Those people are slightly profit, but still in profit now. Barely, but still there. Which is more than can be said for even the people who bought it in the APO. If you remember, so what was the APO price? 38?
Yeah.
Yeah, APOs create a price ceiling that is very difficult. That was that lesson. That's a good anti-hero. By this point, I think I've gotten one of the lessons I learned also was just getting that comfort with exiting something if I don't think it's going in the direction I wanted. Yeah. In the time I expected to, yeah.
The great
blasphemy. Like that.
Sell an investment before. So change your mind and sell an investment. Blasphemy, you know?
Oh.
You know how to change your thoughts around anything you put your money in. It must stay the same forever.
Yeah, well, I am grateful for those people in the market also.
Folks.
Yeah. But my thoughts and prayers with anybody sitting in JMB from then to now. 3 years of limited to
Wild
no
ride.
profit. Yeah. Wow.
And then it
That was
spike and then I buy more because it's finally moving. And you see how, just think about that. There's a reluctance to change your mind about the thing. Causes them to ignore so much other things about that thing being wrong. Like you sit down and you buy it from APO and you decide, say, yo, me not do this, me not sell it, whatever. And them guys on BrickTalk come and just ask about it. Jamie B. other thing there. And then I mean, we said it would go up when it went up with the thing there, with the like buyback expectations April 1st. But imagine
we predicted that long before, like I said, that was the only thing I think that could cause people to switch their thinking around around that stock, that company.
when the price fly, and then the same people that were just because it's so, but think about that. You never bought at all. Say you never had a real goal. You never said, boy, this is what I want from JMB. But just have JMB. It's either afraid I never buy no more. That seems to be the case. Afraid not going to buy more or waiting for the right time. Because if I buy more before the time when it comes to move, it don't make no sense, right? That's the typical idea.
Or me not sell at a loss either.
Me not sell at a loss.
Yeah.
But in the moment it moves, it's all the confirmation you need that the market is doing the right thing now. And JMB, if not 60, time for the 100.
Well,
Imagine that.
Yeah, when many people think like that no more. I think people, you have some frustrated people. I think the last of the frustrated people are the people who are just sitting in it and go, they refuse to sell at a lot. There are some people like that.
I know people. I'm saying I know people that bought after the spike because that's what they're thinking. Finally, instead
Also, they
of
wouldn't buy when
finally,
it's
I'm
low.
selling at a profit. It's finally, it's moving. No, I can buy again.
Oh, because no one gets in, I didn't know. Wow, so
I
you lose
never
twice.
go buy no more. Cause foolishness this. But
Yeah.
and it must go up great, undervalued. When it ready, me go buy it because they know me go time it.
Wow.
People ask, I don't know how they wait after the thing happens to do it. And then boom, I'm scared, boom, right back down. No buyback. Nothing. And then that's
Well,
think of the conversation around the buyback now,
those people might
where
have a
everybody
shorter wait
believes that the
than
buyback
3
would have
years.
saved the day because the thought of the buyback it was saved the day for you, but it looked like it could have. If I did sell at the 60, it would have saved me. But never sell. I'm saying 60, I'm feeling actually sure. 50 something, I'm sure. But yeah. I never sell at the 60. I probably bought too. But no buyback. The only reason I never get what I wanted was because the buyback never actually happened. That's the conversation around it now. So the buyback needs to happen now, or the buyback should have happened. And as I always say, if you ask all of those people, what would happen, how the buyback actually work on XYZ, where the profit, you see the conversation devolve. It becomes, so they take a lesson from it. That's not actually probably the lesson they should have taken. It's, boy, okay, the buyback should have happened. And the buyback should have saved the day, so what the buyback did cause, instead of saying, Jano, how the buyback would actually run. Because you've heard it many times. Buyback is strong and we'll put JMB on a new price. If they just have that buyback, price is flying. You'll finally be the JMB is a PE at 6 right now. It'll be a fine by $90 $100 stock like it should be, right? If the buyback happens. Very, very strong expectation for the buyback.
Yeah, I think it just became something popular. As a talking point, it's so nice.
Yeah,
Buyback, it sounds good.
So fancy.
And maybe eventually people get their day from it. I think that they have one or two more boosts from like they had before. I think a lot of those people who missed the 38 will the last run up at the 38, 39, 40 will jump out this time. Or maybe no, maybe they'll just stick and say, oh well, again, see it's happening like it should now. Good luck to them if it happens. But again, hell of an anti-hero. By late November, not late November, later in 2020, And so by then we had gotten used to the lockdown, everybody inside. Um, I know by mid 2020 I would have recovered from the first quarter, the end of the end of the second quarter. By May, June, they had recovered. I think most of it was on Pulse, though. Then I bring in a hero of mine, Jam T.
I was going to say it. I was going to say
Yeah,
it.
Jam T. So by
I've
then,
seen a lot of buys and sales. Yeah, man, money.
yeah, by then I got by then I got reminded of the lessons that I need to, and how serious I need to approach and attack the market. And yeah, Jam T was a good one then. Because I had learned certain lessons, including including not when it tied together. Like one of the lessons I learned, and for me the lesson on Jam T was, if you're moving, move big. Although I have had to learn that lesson again and again and again. But it was like you're moving, move big. So a reminder that what happens a lot of times, I happen to a lot of people, is when they're investing, you buy a stock, you do whatever you're doing, you get some money, you buy another one, you get some money, you get another one, you buy another. Before you know it, you have too much. Now I've always been for concentration. I don't believe in wasted. I don't believe in
spread the money for the sake of spreading the money.
Needless diversification is one of the worst, dumbest things you can do. But you find yourself sometimes having diversified accidentally. And then the sentiment sets in, right? Like I said, that's a lesson that I've had to learn again and again. That, it's this year, but this stock gave me a good XYZ%. Cool. Thank you for your service. Yeah, man, I'm out. So one of the earlier lessons for me in move recovery, because how I had to recover was I had to make big moves. I had to cut from things and go, I know the time for this don't come yet, and I'm not certain what happened, but let me put all of my money into this. I put a large amount of money into JP, large for me at the time, into JP, and it never went anywhere. I think I even sold that at a loss, but I've never been bothered by selling at a loss. You know the thinking around that.
It's so interesting what I do every day now. It's when I'm telling people who are proclaiming high risk or they have a very, very, very aggressive thing they want to meet, I often buck that.
What's that?
If something, so they want a different path and trading differently, they should be, in the market differently. And if something miss a target, so the time reach and the thing we're looking for the price to do what, or for the price to do whatever, or the signal for it don't reach yet, we're moving, right? Bro, everything else that way. High risk that way, aggressive that way. If we sell this at that, or you get me?
Yeah.
Very different things. I think I struggle with that. No, I know I struggle with that. I can't bring the lesson to people as the lesson. So I'm advising at a level that you really, if you were to take it for yourself, then you're not there. So cool, that's the gap that advisor must fit, but I can't actually get the lessons that you need because that's never have experience you just not going to have. And I can't put in your brain the hour. Right? So actually investing is that just actually doing it by yourself. I properly encourage, come to me, do whatever. But do the girl thing. Find some level, although if you say me now pay and if you even get up and say, all right, I want to find a sensible path to profit that's repeatable, XYZ, and I'm going to actually try to learn this thing over, so I can go through the motions of it. If you get those lessons down, then the market start looking very different and the goals you have become way more achievable. Something like saying at a loss, I'm sure a lot of people wonder what the hell you're saying when you just said, I don't mind saying at a loss. Especially after you just said, boy, we don't really like lose money. In fact, you talk about the situation where losing money on a trade kind of hurt your feelings, but that's a lie. It's to the point where I'm never for me more than anybody else. I mean, for client portfolios, I think I'm way less. I'm definitely way less risky and whatever because things run different, right? But me, the line it's a line I never draw. No, I think like some kind say like Shay say, boy, I think Shay or someone said one thing that I go say is sell the stock. If I see me, if I did put my money in a stock and it fall down too much, I don't think the line I'm going to draw is never going to be anymore. Cool, I lose money on it already, so I'm going to hold it. If I hear come home, to your wife with the next man, and you say, boy, we've been together 5 years, let's stay together. You know, work so. The thing is bad, no. That's a good reason to leave. I don't want anybody to take it to say, boy, when the stock fall, you must sell. No. But if the thing, I think you already said it well at the start of this, where if you are looking forward and you no longer see the thing doing what you wanted to, just sell it. Move on. Find something that you actually expected the way it needed to do versus wait around in this thing just because it gone bad already. You know, work so.
Yeah, it really is. It really is a strong lesson. I sometimes over or underplay how many lessons I've learned from things like that. And with the people who hear me talk about the market, hear me talk about the market sensibly and all the time openly, you understand a lot of, I think now more people understand a lot of what I've been pushing and why I've been pushing, why I've been saying, so I've been saying it. And the fact that these things are the lessons that you need to get, like these sensible lessons come from the heroes or the anti-heroes, whether the win, lose, or the draw. The wins teach you certain things, like the wins taught me. But a good reminder, and I shared it a lot with people during that time about how, yo, if we in this thing to make money and we invest, if you step wrong, the only way you're gonna recover is to step right. Yeah, you have to force yourself to.
I was saying to myself the other day. Today, I said to myself today, actually, the same exact thing you just said. What's the best thing to do in a situation where you lose money on an investment?
Take out what you can and put in another investment. That's the only way.
Just find another investment.
Yeah.
That's it.
Literally, find literally that. The place where you get it.
Everybody knows that investing can work out. It cannot work well. It can lead to a loss. But the moment it reach freeze, what the hell is happening? How could this happen? I saw a tweet I never like. When was it? And I think I sent it to you, a couple of people, October 10th. I thought on the timeline, I didn't know whatever. But it said bad investing, good investing. Bad investing, invest into stock, sees it goes down, sells at a loss. Good investing, invest into a stock, sees it goes down, buys more. Both of those could be good investing.
Yeah,
and both of those could be bad investing. Like everybody knows that buying a stock that goes down, buying Carib Cement at 100, because I think it's going to 120, great. It goes to 80, you are allowed to say, boy, me down here for stills. Like you're not good for getting up and saying, I'm gonna buy it at 80. And if it goes to 60, I'm gonna keep buying it. Even though I need my money to double by the end of the year. I'm gonna take this loss 4 times for just to please this guy. Yes, the riches. That's so dumb, bro. Like, there's no way categorize the situation isn't that. If you boil the situation down to, boy, you're gonna put more into it when it go down because you are also convicted, then you're literally speaking about one kind of investor. To then act like everybody else. But that's it. No, we have fundamentals. The fact that this is what you do when you invest. Everybody will tell you, say, yeah, man, it's not a one size fits all. But then these things are the things that are said from the same people to say, yo, you must invest this way. If you're not going long term, then you mash up yourself. Imagine that. You need to spend, you need to buy whatever, and a man say, boy, you really shouldn't be. You really should be making money for your mother so she can live on her, so she can live off her pension and never really make it to where you thought it should be, because you should be long term. Well, your mommy need to get this and that this year, but investing, you're bad for pulling money out when you start going around. That's crazy, bro.
Well,
But fundamentals, this is the things that every investor should do. Bad investing, good investing.
2020 and that's another lesson I learned from that. That's you will repeat old history, but that's another lesson I learned in 2020. The like knowing not knowing who to listen to, like knowing what kind of advice makes sense, and knowing that just because something sounds financy don't mean it makes sense. And also, it was a good reminder that just because somebody is in like finance is a wide field, just because somebody's in finance does not mean that the person understands the equity market. And just because the person understands the equity markets, don't mean them understand the Jamaican equity market. And not everything that is said that supposedly sounds good for the stock market actually makes you money on the stock market. 2020 was a great lesson for that. You remember during that time it was very much the a lot of people were mastering the market, let us say. Then I you sound die? Then I anybody wants a speaker request, we can talk about stock you want, and you'll also get to help me know if my sound is actually working. Or send an emoji or something if you can hear me. Maybe it's on my side. Test. Corporate body, welcome back.
Hey. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. You can hear
Yes, I
me?
can hear you
Hello?
clearly. I think Brandon
Okay,
fell off.
perfect. Oh, yeah. I just got a message from him. All right. You came on last week.
Yes.
1 week later, what do you think about the conversation? How are you, by the way?
I'm okay. The conversation is quite interesting, but I didn't come to stay long because I'm not feeling 100%, but I wanted to share my heroic stock, and that's Wigton.
Word. Let's set the situation. What was happening? What was the bad that it saved you from?
So it actually opened up my eyes some more. So I fell off my journey at the point when the IPO came out. I had a lot of personal circumstances, so I wasn't paying investing and any mind. I was just trying to, life was lifing. And a colleague of mine said I got some reimbursement money for something that was happening at the time. And a colleague of mine said, girl, IPO keep. And I didn't get to do as much reading as I wanted to do, but, got a synopsis of what it was about. And I said, all right, let me just drop that check on it. I don't remember how long, but I was most impressed with the performance, because when I sold, so the IPO price was 50 cents. I didn't get a lot in terms of the number of shares based on the allocation, but when I sold it, I sold it making 100%, and I'm thinking to myself like, I need to snap out of it. Like, you need to get your things together, get yourself together, get your act together, and you need to get back on the train. You need to start back your, journey and start making sure that these opportunities don't miss you. Because if it wasn't for that colleague saying, hey, focus, jump on this, I would not have recognized, would not have taken the opportunity, and I would not have recognized the value. And even to today, even though I don't own it in one of my portfolios, I'm just doing some reading on it, and I said, oh, this is a potential long-term investment. And what's happening in the market now in the world today with oil prices, renewable energy, I believe has its place in the future. And I believe that where we are now as a country, things will start to change, and we'll pivot to the place where the focus is going to be on renewable energy. And I'm telling you, investors should be buying that stock. And
I can tell. Whoa. Boy, you did it. I remember you did the same thing to me
sorry.
last week. You see how long Dana and I talking, and Dana is the licensed financial
Oh, I
advisor,
am not a
but he's
financial
not giving.
advisor or
No,
anything.
I'm aware. So give me a moment, please. Let's keep all of us from meeting cartel. One, Dana is a licensed financial advisor. When he's speaking this evening or anytime on our show, on this show or anything that we do, it is simply him speaking as Danai talking to Randy or to whoever, but not actual financial advice. We do not give financial advice on the show. I'm not a financial advisor myself. Danai is a licensed financial advisor, as I said, and link him at D Hall Advisor if you want a session, you want him to handle a portfolio for you. If you want to learn how we do what we do, you can come to groweverymickle.com/GRWR, and I will teach you easily the best method to attack the local market. However, do not take anything on this show as investment advice, please and thanks. All right, no, ma'am, you said you're talking about Wigton, you like it. You're slipping a little edited truth. I will say that you sold it at 100% up, and that's okay. I'm sure you sold it at profit, and you're saying that investors. The last
Well,
part is
I
where you
will,
start
I will,
losing me.
as an investor, let me rephrase then. As an investor, I will be buying it again because,
No,
and I'm buying it for to hold for the future based on where it's at now. And
every stock will buy for that, but you've heard me
I
say I
don't
don't.
buy every stock for the future. I'm sorry.
Oh, you buy some stocks for the past.
No, I buy some stocks for the present because I sometimes I trade within a day. Well, if you consider in the future the same day, well,
That
sure.
is the
But
future.
well,
There we go. So that's your
one
first
thing,
thing
one
there.
thing with Randy, I'm going to stick you up on the spot.
It's not on the spot. It's just, you know what?
I
You're
get you,
right.
bro. I get you. I get you.
You're
Yeah.
right. I don't. You see, when you do, if you do grow, I always encourage people to grow. If you do grow, when you do grow, you'll understand the importance of the things I'm saying. There is not. I'm not just being pedantic. That's not niche. It
Mhm.
is. You are literally giving red flags, investment red flags to me. Let us say. So like you're buying for the long term. It's a good thing for the long term. Not really. Not to say that it's not good for the long term, but everything is good for the long term. The
Mhm.
long term thing is not something that anybody who is actually investing sensibly should say. And I know you take your investment seriously, so let's um let's think it over more seriously because you really want people to be excited about the week time because they say you still have it in some of your portfolios, but not one.
Not
So you
one.
have it. So you have it.
Mhm.
It's your own week time. That's another thing you're making yourself. You don't matter how many portfolios you have. It's just one you. So your own week time still.
Right.
And you are what? You are down on the one that you have. You're down on the shares that you have, meaning you're at a loss.
Well, no. So the other portfolios I actually bought in sometime earlier this year, so it wasn't too much at a loss per se because about
No, but you're new to the show. Straight honesty. That's how we deal it. You bought it
what
earlier this year.
I bought it at maybe 50 or 60 cents, some thereabout.
And how much is week on now?
I don't know. I wasn't on the market at all this week,
You have to be on the okay.
so
Last time you check
I
out,
didn't
what
check.
was it at?
Maybe 50 something, 53,
53 now.
53,
So
right?
yeah, so you're at a loss.
Fees alone.
Very few people who own weekend shares that aren't at a loss right now. Very, 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 very few people. And the ones who do, the ones who do don't have a lot, or
Very uncomfortable. Good ones, well, no, yeah, or the bought. If I buy an IPO to hold that heavily and not be in a loss now. And even then, IPO is 50 cents. Like that's a very slim thing there. You sneeze and you lose
A
money.
slim margin, right? Mhm.
Yeah, if you bought everything at IPO and you even bought once above the thing there, to any substantial degree, and substantial is not a very long thing there, if your average price ends up at 51, you're losing money.
Mhm.
So if you bought after with any boy I read it, I mean you're buying for the long term, so I figure you were buying higher than
Yeah.
50.
So those. So right. So
It's not those, it's everything.
no.
Yes, but
So
you
before
think
I
it work
that,
Yeah,
otherwise.
I say week
Yeah.
on, you know.
what
I
I
say
had
week on.
what I had initially
Yeah.
from the IPO, I would have made my profit from that, and I would have
When you say
bought
you
it
made your
again
profit,
this
what you
year.
mean?
Meaning that all the from a
You mean you
primary
sold it?
portfolio, yes, I
Yeah,
sold
man. Just say you
everything,
sell it.
and I would have I sold everything, and I would have earned some money from that.
Did you buy it back at all with that portfolio? With those with that
No,
money?
I bought it on some other two other portfolios that I have.
So you bought it
Saying
back?
a loss. So you bought
Right.
it saying higher than 50.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're
I'm
at a
saying a
loss.
loss. But that's fine.
So
I'm not saying it's a wrong thing.
I guess
It is a
I'm
loss,
not.
so
I
it's
wasn't
fine.
looking at it. So I'm learning, So I wasn't looking
Yeah,
at
man,
it
that's
as
cool.
how you guys are looking at it holistically. I am just looking at segment it based
No, you
on
can't do that.
my portfolio, because I invest for different reasons.
Reasons, yes. But still, the
Okay.
holding is a holding.
Yeah. It's a common error that you made. That's one of the things that you learn. Well, a good investor learns very early. One of the things you learn, I think I told you about this last week too, is the honesty with self. Honesty with self. So like you can't. So okay, my impression is that you'd like people to like Wigton right now, because of
Mm-hmm.
course if people rush in, the share price will go up, and the shares that you have in Wigton that are at a loss would then be in profit, right? Might even
Nice
allow you
profit.
to sell, right?
I wasn't so that's what I'm
No, I
saying.
mean if that were to happen.
I'm not looking to sell Wigton
What price
in
would
the
you
other
say, sir?
portfolios. I literally bought it
So you never sell?
not anytime soon.
But you're
Why do
not
you?
investing for time.
Well, maybe
So
she is.
Or
What would make you sell
I
Wigton?
yes.
so my
Good
view
question.
on Wigton is based on the sector,
Mm-hmm.
right, and
Mm-hmm.
the outlook.
Which is
So
what?
What's the outlook?
You touched on it earlier, but you can say it again for the people.
so I based on where renewable energy is going globally and locally, I believe that the company has a lot of growth potential, and there may be some shift in a couple years.
What
So
is the current stance that would be shifting from?
it just the different developments that may take place in the coming
No,
years.
where are we now? What would
You
what
mean
would
so
we
you
be
said
shifting
you take a
from?
shift. So shift from where to what? What's the
So
shift we're shifting away from?
so oil prices and are you know very, very depressing now, and everybody's looking for an alternative option, and this is a good source to look, because
But
it
what
just
are we shifting from? Because Wigton, you bought Wigton was a good year for you. You bought at IPO, so that was middle of 2019,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago.
What was the
So
shift? So exactly.
what
So
is it?
Wheaton then, at that point, was doing what it does. Wheaton was doing what it does. What
Right,
change for
but
Wheaton do you see from these things?
so I just my personal understanding of it is that um based on where the sector is going, it's a good stock to hold
I get you. So
for me to
you see
benefit from.
you see
That's
how
my understanding of it.
you
Yeah,
see
man,
how
but it sounds very vague.
yeah
So
and
what it may mean for me as an investor, that I may have to do some additional reading
yeah.
to pinpoint specifics, because I've not pinpointed the specifics. I broadly read
Mm-hmm. A
about
big
the sector, about the company, but I didn't go down into the nitty gritty.
but
A
you have
big
your
part
money
of
in
that.
it, right?
Yeah,
I
you put
I
your money
do.
there. And the
So
thing
that
you're
means that
betting on, so the thing you're putting the money there for to work out, whatever, you need to define it. You need to actually say, all right, where are we now? What's it? So if you can't define those things, then you're not really saying much about them. You get me? Get what I'm saying? So if you're saying where are we now, what we're shifting away from, if there is no real strength of definition for where are we now or what we're going to, then you're missing the part what that should have made you buy Big Time. If you're buying Big Time for those reasons, then you should know what those things are. You get me? So you can't not not have a strong idea of where we are going that would incorporate Wigton into that whole plan, where Wigton will benefit from. You can't be betting on that and not really know because your money there. That's
So maybe I do know, but I'm not able to articulate it
no,
properly.
man, you don't know, because if you
Oh,
did, you would be able to articulate it.
okay.
Yeah, but I don't mean in a bad way. I mean, you have articulated some very technical things between last week and this week. You talk about things generally. You obviously have sense, and I can tell you that you don't need the level of sense you have is not needed to be able to be a successful investor. So I know that if you understood the thing, you'd be able to explain it because you would have. It's simple because I also know a bit about Wigton, but I also can tell that you know. For example, okay, would you would you lend me 500 grand? I need to borrow 500 grand.
No,
Straight up. Why you say no?
I don't know you.
All right,
the
that's
problem.
cool. But if I were to tell you, I'm sending you my account, I'm sending you my I don't know, I leave a car at your house, and the car worth a little more than 500 grand. So you can keep the car if I don't pay you back your 500 grand. Sell it. I'll sign the back of the title and give you. It's a little more safer. It's actually a little safer, right?
Right.
All right. So let's pretend I've done that. Would you now lend me 500 grand? Again, Jamaica, not US.
No, I don't think so. No.
Why not?
all on the premise that I don't know you.
Damn. Okay. So if I give you my birth certificate, my driver's license, my
No, that
passport,
doesn't. I don't know you. I won't do business with you because I don't know you.
word.
A one random person. No.
Damn. I hope you don't work for a bank.
It's a no more car though, no more mortgage.
Yeah. What would make it comfortable
So
for
don't know your
you? What
boss.
would make you more comfortable enough to know? Okay, forget. Think of a person that you do know that you would lend 500 grand.
500
You have
grand.
anybody like from school that you lend 500 grand? Your close friend?
Yes,
All right, guy or girl?
girl.
All right. If she said to you, she said, "Corporate body, lend me 500 grand for a year," you lending her?
Yeah,
All right. So you're lending her the 500 grand for a year, just like that. What is the basis on which you're lending her?
she's my sister, so I'd do anything for her. She's family.
Oh wow.
No man, no somebody you want to pay back.
Now, I
Somebody
wish you were my sister.
No, she's
'Cause
gonna pay me back.
really?
Alright.
Because my siblings don't.
Well, she's borrowed money from me before, and she's paid me back.
All right. Wow. You make an interesting case here. I didn't expect you to go this way at all. What I was thinking was most people would ask what you want the money for. Right? All right, let's pretend that you work for a bank and I'm that bank's customer. So I'm sorry, I know you don't know me, but the computer knows me, the system knows me, and I am coming in for a loan. Are you lending me the money?
If you have all the requirements for the loan, I'll lend you the money.
Yeah, well, I have some collateral. My collateral is a car and it's worth more than 500 grand. And the bank system is okay with that. It just needs a human being, you, to say yes or no.
Well, once you fit the
In tick all the
criteria
boxes.
of getting the loan approved, then I'm sure you'll get the loan.
Yeah, but it's up to you. You have to tell me yes or no. It's still the box is on your screen. Do
Check,
you, corporate body,
Randy, you have received the loan. Check your account.
why would you
Well,
give
no
me
more,
the
no
loan?
more I work for the bank. You know, ask me no question.
Wow.
No pay slip, nothing does.
But I did say once you meet all the requirements. So the
But you're
requirements
not interested in
clearly,
what I want the money for?
the requirements clearly would ask you purpose of funds.
No, it would not. You are the
Yes,
one
that's isn't
determining
that.
No, I'm telling you.
So
Yeah,
As
is
in
that's
that
it.
a
You have to
part of?
ask. Yeah,
in this
the thing
case,
you have
it
to
is,
ask me so you can write it down.
yeah, it's up to you to determine it. So
You're the manager. Yeah, you're sort
you're the
out.
manager.
You don't
You're
get
and
the
I
loan or
am
don't get the loan. You don't care what to do with the money?
So
Randy, for next example.
so then I summed all of that up in requirements.
no. I'm telling you, I'm building the situation. Rebuilding it. The system says that
Randy,
to
for next
know who this
example.
person is, no, this is the right situation because it's very important that you naturally would say no. So I need you to understand it in a way. I want to see where the point is where you would say yes. So you need to know who I am. I give you my NIDS number, right? Which have everything, including my blood sign and stamp by a JP. You know exactly who I am. All right. You have I had the COVID vaccine, so the microchip is working. You can track me anywhere in the world. All right. So you know who I am, and I cannot run. But it's still your bank, it's still your decision. You need collateral. I'm putting up a piece of land. The land is worth at last valuation 10 million. So your risk is covered, and your risk is covered in terms of collateral. If I don't pay, you have more than what I've borrowed in terms of asset. And you know who I am fully, down to my blood type. So you have box A ticked and box B ticked. Is there anything else that you want to know?
Yes. So I would need to know why you need the funds or purpose of funds, as well
Why?
as your repayment plan. How
Yeah, well,
soon
you
be
cool.
repaying?
I pay you repaying you in a year, but why do you need to know what I do with the funds?
That's a good question.
Sorry, I think you got accidentally muted.
No, I think she's...
No, man, she got accidentally muted. Can you unmute, corporate body?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Why do you need to know what I do with the money? And it's not a fancy, sorry, it's not a fancy answer. It's just literally what's the thinking that you have in mind why you'd ask why I need the money. It's nothing technical.
I
Just
know the answer, but I don't think I know how to say it.
just say it in a real
Say
way.
it
It's
how you
not
know
a
it.
test. Just say it how you know it. You see, that's why I bring it down to your yard, you know. And if your friend said to you, say, yo, lend me 5 bills. What you say?
Go through my boss, take it.
Then why must you be like that?
I mean, they say it earlier. Just give me the money, so...
You said she just get her sister it. Damn. That's good. I just
Probably
think,
not. I got my brother and anything there.
yeah, it's just that most people I think would ask naturally what you want it for, and there's nothing wrong with that. The point,
why you need the
yeah,
money?
yeah. The point behind most people naturally asking that is, if I'm giving you my money to do something, I need to know what you're doing with it, or I need to have an extremely high level of trust for you. Makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, isn't that why you wouldn't give me the money earlier? You were adamant that no matter what you come with, I'm not giving you the money because I don't know you, right?
Right.
Yet you put your money in Wigton that you don't know. And you don't know what them doing to give you back the money.
So that's not entirely. I don't want to say that's 100% true.
Whatever I said it
Because
was.
so I get it. I get the point that you're trying to make, right?
Just I usually
But
leave
you,
it there.
so
Hold on, I'm gonna
you,
cut you. I'm gonna interrupt you one little bit. I'm so sorry, but I have to hear. Usually I leave it because I think you get the point, and I think people get the point. But I've learned the hard way that they don't always get the point. So I'm gonna stab myself inside a little and actually say the point. The point I'm trying to make sure is that you should know the thing that you put in your money in. That's not to say that you don't know it fully, you know. And it's also not to say that you need to know it fully. There's a level past which you won't ever be able to know it. But the same way you'd have scrutiny to almost say, absolutely not. You listened to me last week, you listened to me this week. You follow me on the timeline, but you wouldn't lend me money because I don't know you. I don't think you know 3 weeks on employees. You don't know what their plan is to get your money. You know some things about the general sector, but I'm sure if I were to ask you, well, what is Wigton's plan to get you their money? You might not be able to give me a cohesive plan to say this is why Wigton is going to make so much money in the long term, whatever that is for you, that it makes more sense for me to put my money there, and I have no intention of taking it out until this thing happens. But you don't know what that thing is because you don't know where they are now to know what that thing is versus now.
Mm-hmm.
So the point of all of this is that the same way you naturally have that scrutiny when your money come in, and somebody say, yo, lend me money, what you want it for is just take that same feeling and flip it. The point behind that feeling is if I'm putting my money in something else or someone else's trust, I need to know what they're going to do to make sure I get my money back. Or I need to have an extremely high level of trust for that person or that entity. If that person or entity is a stock, you need to know the company well. That usually I wouldn't say that, but I've learned the hard way. So what are the anti-heroes taught over the years of doing this? That don't assume that people know. And in that one, if I didn't say it no, I would have forgotten it. And then maybe I hear it later on the record and go, Jesus, you should have said something. Or regret it even worse later on. So apologies for interrupting your corporate body, but I had to say that there. That is the point. With that in mind, you can tell me that. Or if you want, we can talk Wigton still. Because I know a thing or two about Wigton. I wouldn't mind telling you or the crowd.
so your point is accepted, and I'd love to hear some more from your perspective about Wigton.
www.everymaker.com/GRWR.
Hey, yes,
But
slick
Straight
shot,
up.
you sir.
but
Good
Wigton
one.
is what do you know about Wigton? Because I did make a bit of an assumption to say that you don't know as much. What do you know about Wigton currently?
Everything that I had mentioned before.
We never really mentioned nothing. What them do?
We are remix. Go again.
Lord jeez, we don't want
No man. What does
bored
Wigton do?
the
What does
listener.
You're not,
Wigton do?
the people say you're not boy. You're good man.
Trust me, you're more exciting than I and I
That
talking to
Aaron.
each other.
Exactly.
Trust me. What does Wigton do? No, not the fancy answer, you know, just what you know them do, in your words.
I don't like when you guys do this to me, no man.
I'm sorry, listen, you don't have to, by the way, you don't have to. It's just
I shared why they were my hero in the beginning, because I thought that's the purpose of
Yeah, man,
this
but
space.
I said earlier, it's a lot of vague. We talk about the industry, we talk about Wicca.
yeah, but I get it. I don't want you to feel bad. I get
Oh, yeah, that too.
Wigton is
Yo, listen
always a
now.
hero.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want you to
Facts.
feel any pressure of corporate body. But what I wanted to get from it was how you saw Wigton, because then I could build on top of that with what I know of Wigton.
Yeah.
So like you're saying, one of the things you're saying is that, you know, you're looking out for when the sector is going to get more focus because of the rising cost of oil, renewables. One of the things I want to point out there is that the sector already has that focus, has had it for years. So the government literally has as law that any entity like Wigton that produces energy from renewable
sources.
So like Wigton gets its power from the wind. Literally, JPS has to buy everything that they produce. And the law says that they have to do it mainly because of that actual same point you mentioned. It's cheaper to buy from Wigton than it is to import a barrel of oil, or however many barrels of oil that Wigton power would need to burn to be, if it were being generated by oil, right? There's import substitution, of course, it's better for the environment, blah, blah, blah. It's actually in law. So that focus has already happened.
Mm-hmm. The rising cost of oil, you mentioned where it is today. Rising, it's been rising for quite a while. And the focus that the focus you're thinking to put on it, it's already there. Wigton exists largely because of that focus. It's a government entity. If the government going in a certain direction and start a company that's within that certain direction, yeah, looking at it. So which I was saying, this is why specifically Randy said, the thing you're looking at today, what is it going to become later? It's other things you're talking about that will be coming later are things that are going on now. That's why I'm asked specifically, what do you think is going on today?
Yeah, so I wanted to help see where you are now, to help show where, based on what's actually happening now versus what you think and the things that you may think that are actually happening now, how would that look from my view for a build out of the future? So again, it's not that you're wrong. It's that
what actually happens at Wigton that changes.
Yeah. But
in
you
the
get
next
the point.
Long term, what kind of changes Wigton going to make as a company? Then we build more things, then we buy more things. Then we change in business? What's going to actually happen at Wigton? That's going to down your long-term line and say, boy, this made the amount of money I wanted it to make.
I get you, and I know that they have several. You see, because I'm not in, I don't know how to articulate it, to be honest.
Just say it normal. We don't like the
say it normal, like I say.
No, it's not. It's not about talking fancy, because I'm not. I just know that they have their things is split out in different phases, and they're working through the different phases.
What things?
I can't explain it.
How they make money?
Boy, I feel like Randy giving me some additional homework.
No, this is the base.
No, but that's good. No, it's good. It can be homework, not just for you, for anybody.
Yeah, because
listening.
as I said before, right, my basic understanding of it is, and broad brush reading, I have not gone into the nitty gritty.
Yeah, man.
Pretty much.
That's okay. Well, sort of okay, but it's okay because it can still do it.
Yeah, and I think, and the major point I wanted to highlight for you is that you should, in the same way how you wouldn't give me money because you don't know me, you shouldn't put money in an investment that you don't know. Put the same level of scrutiny on it. You wouldn't give me, part of why you don't know me is you don't know what I do for a living, right? You don't know how my money is set up, right? In other words,
leeching as of borrow 500 grand versus Randy.
Yeah. How do I earn to be able to pay you back? That's a natural question that any lender would want to know about the person borrowing, right? Corporate body?
Right.
In the same way you want to understand that about your investment. So you should know the thing that you put in money, you should know how it makes money.
Absolutely, I agree. So I will just need to understand the actual operations to really say what exactly it is that they do.
No, you just have to actually read the document.
But I don't know how to explain it, to be honest.
They have wind farms.
I know about the wind farms, but I don't know.
That's why you never say when I ask you how they make money.
Stop about yourself.
No, it's not. No. It's clearly that's not. I don't know if you wanted me to go in.
No, really say it. If me sell bag juice to make money, and me ask you how me do to make money, I sell bag juice. Straight up. So what we can do to make money? How do they? What's the thing that they sell? What's the thing that they? Do they have a service they charge for? Them sell bag juice. What we can do to
Energy.
get money in the building?
Really in the energy sector.
They do what?
I said it's really in they're
What
they're
them?
really in the energy sector. So they do, I'm sure they do work with JPS and so on.
No, what them do? What them do for
Or
them
them
players?
what them do for collect money?
What do they sell to their customers?
Yeah.
Like the answers to those questions are the things you need long before you in it. And it's dangerous that if you couldn't answer that, then you probably shouldn't be telling people that they definitely should be buying the thing for years. You see why I got very jumpy when you were saying it? Not because I need to say that I'm not an investment advisor, but because I know that as much as we cover ourselves and say that, and people know we're not giving advice on the show, I also know that there are some people who ignore all of that and still buy because something sounds good or somebody mentions it. And it is very dangerous to do that if you don't know or trust the source or how the source is going to ensure your returns. You work the same way for that. And it's not a bad thing to you, because when I want you to see that it's a thing that you can fix that will make you make a whole lot more money. But it's also important that people know, so just because somebody is saying something that is correct, linked to things that are happening, like the oil prices, like the shift to renewables, it doesn't mean that it's the right place for your money. That was also part of the lesson I learned from my anti-hero JP. Everything line up nice, but where's the share price now? The same lesson that I learned from his anti-hero JMB. Everything line up nice. So he buy it at $38 3 years ago. 3 years later, today, it closed at $38.
I had the same feeling of remorse about JSE.
Imagine
Jeez.
if you have that feeling of remorse about Wigton
Wigton.
3 years
10
from
years,
now.
15 years when you're long term ready.
Because that's another thing I'll try and help you with if you play along with it. You say you don't ever plan to sell the Wigton. Not
Why
for
buy
now,
it?
long term, right?
Not anytime soon.
What
But
would make you
I
sell it
and
long
you
from
know,
now?
and that's why I like having these conversations in the space, because my perspective is always shifted.
Which is
So I may just have to revisit some literature on this.
You know, say if you come the next grower, you'll one day, unless you do the split one, then it'll take you 2 days. One day, literally, you will have a complete shift. I'm not pressuring you to come. I am using the opportunity as an ad, really. But it is the truth. I've made
no,
many
no
ads
two
over
ways
the years.
about it. Definitely.
Yeah.
You'll get
It's
a lot
easy.
answered. Especially,
Yeah.
trust me, I'm tell you one of the biggest chop them. Literature and investing. In fact, we were just talking about one. You know what I've never seen? An investing great. Tell me about the book in the way you call it opposite of great.
A master.
An investing master. Proclaimed investing master. Tell you how good they are, but never have the profits for it. Them always tell you about the book, and they never speak about the book in the same way that Buffett that met them read the book, talk about the same book. The investing literature thing, when him again? Big Boss, and I actually like his book. What's his name? Asian guy, Trump friend. Investing book 101. Yeah, man, that book, man, Randy. The purple book, everybody know and love. Oh, Randy's thing there. His audio is terrible. Rich Dad Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki.
Sorry, yeah.
Right, the book, you know.
My girl
And you trust
in
me,
the
that's the
room.
thing. Everybody tells me about how Rich Dad Poor Dad was a book and how what they learned from it. And most people that tell me what them learn from it never really learn from it. But you know the interesting part about this guy, he wrote the book to get rich, and then tells you about in the book he's telling about his journey to being rich, and the book is what made him rich. Great investors, they're not doing this to become authors.
Yeah, I hear that. A large part of me wanting to make money, so I can just sit down and write. I love writing. I've written a long time outside of email.
I have an interest exactly. I have an interesting relationship with writing, but yes, but you know exactly. We know exactly.
No, yes, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, and I hope the corporate body understands what he means also, right? Like when you understand the thing in a certain way,
and like you're doing the thing.
Yeah, and telling somebody about it, like Rich Dad Poor Dad, he made money, he got rich off selling the book about the thing, but that don't mean that the book is crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so in the same way,
the context you get read
I use the opportunity to say, yeah, come to Grow and you will learn this stuff. It's not, I say openly, I don't even do good ads for Grow. I should really push it a lot harder and a lot better. And you understand why I say that when you do Grow. Like it's no joke. It is an amazing. I am blowing my own horn here, but it's an amazing course.
Everybody sign up for Grow.
Yeah.
I really think still.
No, I am in a chat on the internet with multiple millionaires made from Grow.
I hate that I love. I mean, I say I love Grow, but I hate that I push it while being a bridging, because then it sounds like I'm push like I actually went to Grow myself. 2021, and I was learning. 2020 or 2021, my first Grow. I got it and I was like, yo.
When was it?
I never went in 2019. I think I went in 2020.
In the pandemic?
Pandemic.
Yeah.
And I think it also, I think that Grow was what fully got me out of my slump in terms of how I was feeling toward the market. The signals seemed to mash up my vibes, make back the money, and I'm still never feel nice because I know what I saw the moves I never made because I know that I was hesitant more than I should have been. Right? So I think just to look at Grow at that point, from Grow, it was weird to me that I always say I learn from it. I still learn from it. But it was weird to me how much I took out of the experience. Like I know this really well. I know what I'm saying, but the process he's putting it in, that is a big deal for me. Because you know how much without a process, what this becomes, especially for us, right? So the fact that you put that into a process like that, and it's like interesting thing for me because I know Randy outside of this, and I could see him digging into the Grow Up, like he started talking with it more than so. So like the terminologies or whatever, because he was contextualizing his investments along the same lines. And I said to him like, within that time, and I see the man like he take a big step left. You see, because when I was still going through it in 2020, in how I was feeling about the market and whatever, this man already stepped forward. Like he was there before I was, right? And I could see. So I don't want to grow yet, but he's talking different. Him sounding different. I would him talk about things I'm looking for. And then he said to me, I said to him one day, yo, you're way more efficient. Because we're talking about some picks and whatever, and he was digging into them further. And he said, way more efficient. I said, yeah, man, whatever. I think he did play it though, and I never really see what I was saying fully. But then I got to Grow, and I was saying, wait. This piece is really well out of the next step, the next change. And trust me, there's a lot to get out of Grow at every level. I think I've seen a lot. People go there, and then them go back because I never read this in the first time more than so.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
And I think that's a bigger thing. I think what they do, them downplay how much they need to feed into it, but then they start going to marks, them way more serious now. And them start seeing where some of the Grow Up principles come to light, and them see the past they're missing, so them say, we must touch up, so them go back. To see that very often. Something is there, man. Like, there's a lot to learn. Boy, if it's one man I've learned from now, it's Randy. I have not stopped. So
the pressure that puts on me, because I got chat enough. But that kid and I, but it's true. I chat enough about just being proud of what they do in the market and what I've seen regular normal people be able to do on the market. And I don't make up Grow and go, oh, let me make up a course to sell people. No,
Uh-huh.
what I'm telling you is really, it is literally me trying to distill a method to match what it is that I do.
Mhm.
What is it that I do without? Imagine if you learn to ride a bicycle and then you decide to write a course to explain how to ride a bicycle.
The
But
bicycle.
you just happen to be really, really good at riding a bicycle.
Mhm. I remember when you first said to me about when you think that. I don't know what it was. I never started with advanced grower regularly them time there. But the idea, I started going advanced grower regularly after I joined the group, wasn't that? I wasn't really going advanced grower before then. But thing there, I remember when you were saying you said something like in passing, you're doing a string of plays to prepare for the next advance. We were putting money in the market, investing a
Oh,
certain way to when am I again to what call it again? Just
so
to understand a certain thing a little bit more,
yeah, what happens when people
so you
really
could
do it
then go and
nowadays?
teach it. So you
Yeah,
could go to the
yeah,
course, and that
yeah,
that almost blew my mind. But
yeah.
now I go to advanced girl. I mean, when I miss them, I hate that. When I miss them, I find an interesting thing where I start cut it off now, but clients used to be able to book at the same time, where sometimes that time is mesh. And I was laughing because the last one, Jerry was thinking Jerry had booked at that time, so end up clashing, but whatever. But advanced grow, the interesting part for me is like I'll be thinking, I'll be there, I'll do other things in the background, but it's there listening. And a lot of it is I know this, but sometimes it's just a conversation you have about this one little thing I know. I know it really well. But after that conversation with other people questioning about it or whatever is going a little bit more depth, or maybe even I ask in the session, a lot more goes further in my mind. Like, oh yeah, man. Like I'm surprised every time how much more I learn in this topic I know a lot about. And most of it is in the back. But just when I hear just Randy have a different view on it that I never had. And or a much deeper view on it. Trust me, yeah. There's a lot to learn from, bro. I recommend it wholeheartedly, and not for thing there. Not for bridging ship. I learned a lot from Randy, and more. I'm sure there's more to learn. So
All right, thank you for
that's a
that. It's a
long
rousing.
ad. I'll send him my
Yeah.
invoice later.
Thank you for that. But it's true, and the funny thing is, thank you very much for that. But I cap what somebody said in the group earlier, that as pressured them as I often do about some of the basic things from grow. Like I said, like that's a basic grow point. And big him up him say, one of the points also that as much as a basic grow point, remember Randy's probably really good at grow because he goes to grow the most.
Mhm.
I was like, damn, he's right. But nothing I go to it the most, but I am very tied personally to what it is I'm teaching. Like it matters to me. Like it matters to
Mhm.
me to know so you're really helping people. And I'm trying to ensure that there's a clear way out there for Jamaican people to help. So them can get it. And I hone the thing every single time, which means I actually do it. So yeah, then I write. People don't know that. Then I actually never say that publicly. I might say it at the draw, but people don't know it. I do that. I will do something in preparation for the grow. So the short term grow, we're talking about short term trading. I will start actively and aggressively short term trading for all at the quarter in which I know I'm doing. So if I know I'm doing one in December, I start actively short term trading from all September, October, come right down. Plays after plays after plays, mistakes after mistakes. I act how I feel like acting sometimes. Like then I know some of that I've been doing in a different investing area where I act
Mhm.
how I feel. So I see the mistakes that I naturally make and talk to other people and hear the mistakes that they make and think about why are they making it, why are they doing it. Easy example. I'll have maybe at some point next year I'll have a advanced grow on just dividend plays, dividend strategies. Because I don't think that anybody has truly done it justice yet to how a strong dividend strategy can work on the actual JSC. So it means that from like earlier this year, I have been mapping and making specific dividend plays on the JSC. Is that sort of thing. So when you hear me say, yo, you have to know what we've done really for money, and I'm asking you those questions. You don't have to have a fancy answer, but you have to have an answer. It's not based on pressuring you for what you're doing. I know how hard it is. You hear me say every couple of minutes, people can send speaking requests. Not everybody does it. Not everybody wants to talk about the topic, or sometimes people just can't bother the pressure or whatever. So for you to do it, I understand it's not easy. So when I'm questioning you the way I am, it is because I want to give you the best level of benefit that I can in this quick conversation that we have on a Friday evening. Trust me. And not just for you, for everybody. So that's a long come to grow and explanation for why we question you on the things, the corporate body. And a shorter way to say that. Corporate body theory.
Respect, Randy, and then I much appreciate it. I really appreciate the conversation.
You're very welcome. You wanted the last part of it? You said that your long term, which is something I think we spoke about last week. You said that your long term is what you're investing for. And so you wouldn't sell your wheat ton with all the changes that expect to happen in the world.
So
You wouldn't sell your wheat ton for now.
As with anything, clearly, I would be watching the industry, watching that particular stock to see where it goes. And that's why I wanted to hold for the long term. But, this is like my third or fourth week listening in, my second week participating in the conversation. And I just want to, I will take your advice and come to grow so I can get additional knowledge and the
Here's what I'll do too.
perspective, because that is what I see here, and that's what I get from this valuable perspective. So I'm not only seeing things from one side, but from all the different angles that will help me to make better decisions. And the why am I actually doing this outside of, yes, I want to make money.
No, never. Hold on.
No, you want to make money? No. What's going on? What's going on? Whenever finance conversation goes certain, the money just come out. No, we're asking.
The money.
So the actual question we're asking is what kind of money you want to make on Victor? In your long term. What is your long term?
But no, if I ask her that way, she's gonna answer. She's going to try and answer in a different way. I want her to give an honest answer, so I was going to make her answer it before it's
actually, yes. So what would make you sell Victor?
What do you mean?
All right. So you said that you have it for the long term. Can you really expect that things will change? Let us say that Jamaica 10 years from now is now like 10% of all of JPS's power is coming, meaning the entire island is coming directly from Wigton, right? And profits flying, the share price has reached a point that you're looking at it and you say, wow, I am glad I waited this 10 years. I have been able to experience my Wigton now reaching this price where I'm okay selling it. What price is that?
I'm seeing Wigton probably $15, $20.
At that price, if you open your My Money JA on your phone and you see your alert say Wigton has hit $20 per share. The same Wigton that you buy for your, let's say, for your
53 cents. 53 cents.
53 cents. And you're looking at it at $20 per share. So you have made 3,773.58% on top of your money.
Your calculator
Not on top of your money.
is next to your grandy. You can draw them number there real quick,
Yeah, man, I'm only casual, I do BrickTalk with that proper system.
Yeah, the money license to calculate, The man with a calculator holster.
The man
side, that good.
To the eighth decimal.
yeah, man, all the time, man. We only joke, but we're very precise. That's why we can. That's the secret. The secret in being able to clone people and say that, no, if you're taking this thing, not you. My co-host loves to throw shots. He loves to throw shots at his his fellow industry compatriots, and to be able to do that and joke in the way we joke, you have to be really good, and to be really good, like the late great Dre used to say, you have to lucky. To be lucky, you have to do the work. So we do the work, and we do the work precisely. So it is 33, sorry, 2033. I'll give you an extra year on top of it, and you're seeing your week done at $20, so you make it 3,700% profit. You would be okay selling it then, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
So is it the 3,773.5849% you want, or is it the 10 years?
It's not the time per se. It's
Per
the
se, or is it not the time?
all right. It's
all?
not the time.
The money.
It's the money.
It's the money. Yes. I see what you did there, and
All right.
thank you. Thank you.
No, don't say thank me. Please don't tell
No,
anybody else
because
that, and I'll tell you why.
I've never thought about it. What you did
You
just
don't think that's crazy? Like, you don't like when you get to this
No,
point, you
it's
don't when you
not.
say John will start. I know that in
It's
for the 10 years,
not
in for some money.
crazy. It's not crazy because I didn't think that, because really and truly 3,000% can happen in less than 10 years.
Oh,
So it's
Easy.
part-
Randy, how much money I was supposed to person to
me,
return since I start invest?
I don't,
They
I
will
don't
stone him
make
in
money,
the
bro. I just talk
streets.
about it. I just talk about it.
it
But
can happen.
corporate body, do you realize what you hear how different you sound now and what you're saying versus even 10 minutes before?
Yes,
I
cause
feel so much relief
me
at
learn.
pushing. I feel so much relief at pushing. It's people don't know it, but it's actually very uncomfortable for me to push people like that in conversation, especially people I don't know, especially
Well,
publicly like this.
at this point, I believe that this space is here to help persons like me who want to know better and do
It
better.
is, it is,
Big up
but
the
you know
body.
what? It feel on my side.
Oh, trust
I
me.
knew that you were uncomfortable, and I'm thinking
It
this.
is uncomfortable when you're trying to get people out of a particular mind. I don't want to say
Mindset, yeah.
mindset, or mindset
Yeah.
can work.
Uh-huh.
It is, but for I always talk about evolving, and you can evolve second by second.
Yeah.
Fox, big up SOS.
Yeah. I'm thankful for that, and I'm glad that you have it, because on my side, it is a hell of a gamble that I am playing, because if we stop any time before just now when it clicked to you, I just sound like an asshole.
No, and you see, the thing is,
No, I understand it. No, I'm
I
telling you,
believe if you come in on a space like this, you have to come with an open mind, ready
No,
to
you
learn.
finance
don't.
that.
No,
Finance
you
not
don't.
open, man. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
No, you don't. You can come in. You can be angry. You can be
Well,
sad
for
and
me
bad,
personally, because
and that's why
I
I think
want
you're.
to learn. I want to you guys are, you are an inspiration in your
I
own
want you to
right.
know that's an edge that you have here.
Yes.
Just the open mindedness. That's a big game. That's a big thing in this investment thing and life generally. But it's a lot of the difference between a good investor and a bad investor. Having an open mind.
Yes. Literally. To the point where like that. Well, that I know is a private. We talk about all the time. In fact, sometimes I think you must hate it, because I have more experience in feeling and being absolutely sure that I am absolutely right and the person is talking absolute rubbish, and I was wrong. Like, it has happened to me enough in life where, oh wow, I thought they were talking rubbish, but I really should have shut up and listened more. And it has happened enough to me, and I've also learned also where sometime, and this is one of my heroes. I don't have a stock to put it on. It was one of my, I guess, my life heroes that I've learned that helped me invest in my life. I have also, more dangerous than being wrong is I have also been right. That is where the danger come in. Anybody can learn the lesson of. Then I was talking to this Randy guy and telling him, oh, but the GMMB, it sounds good with the APO, but the share price probably not going to move. But yo, what this guy talking about? I know it so well. Come on, I don't know nothing. And then it turned out that then I was right 3 years later. Anybody can learn that lesson. That's an easy lesson that teach us in school to learn. You really look at baby books, and that's why you should listen. Everybody can learn that lesson. You know the hard lesson to learn? The hard lesson to learn is I thought this person was talking rubbish, and they were talking rubbish. But if I did actually listen, even in the rubbish, there might have been something that makes sense to me since I know so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have also seen, one, it helps a person. If I listen and maybe I can actually, if the point is communication, understanding more about where they're coming from helps me to communicate better, one. And two, I have seen where in the little gem in the thing that they're saying, even if it's rubbish, nobody thinks that they're dumb. Everybody thinks that they're smart, and they usually have a basis somewhere in their mind for why what they're saying is right. And sometimes that right have nuggets in there that if you have sense, it can help it. It can help you to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an easy example so I don't sound too esoteric. Friend come on and say, yo, Randy, as a top boy, you know about stocks and and business the well, but you talk rubbish because I work at, I don't know, let's say I'll pick a stock. I'm not, this is all hypothetical, people. This has not happened. I'm making it up. But I work at Dolphin Cove, and things are mash up. Last week, 3 people walk off of the job. Week before that, 2 people walk off the job, and me feel like I quit now. And why is it things are mash up? So I thought it was a good investment, but it's not. Now, if I'm saying no, rubbish, and I tell him all the fancy reasons as to why it's a good investment, I may very well be right, and the person might be wrong. But imagine how much I'd have learned if I listened to the person and asked them, why you think things mashing up? And then tell me what is going wrong at work. It don't matter if them right or them wrong. Now I have a view of what the inside of my investment company looks like. Even if the person is wrong, you might press it and it turn out people walk off of the job because they're stressed because the new manager is forcing them to be more efficient. And if you can't manage efficiency, you quit. So he's getting a more efficient workforce. Or maybe you think them walking off of the job, but some of them they actually thief and get catch and get fired. So leakage is being fixed at the company. Or people stress because they have too many customers because tourism flying. So every day I go work is stress. There's no easy period. It used to have a little easy lull time before lunch. And in the afternoon, no, it open, it pack, and it pack until it done. And then after that, we still have the last of the people to take care of. It pack like a KFC. The person is wrong, but if I listen to that, I learn so much more. I learn, wait, they're actually having so many customers that the lazy people are quitting.
So you're afraid.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you know, say your friend probably out there for real and say, wait there.
But that
Him
last
say I
one
know
is-
I know Dolphin Cove, him say I know me, but it sound like me.
I do not have any friend that work at Dolphin Cove, but that last bit is true about the crowds at Dolphin Cove. And anybody who's been to Dolphin Cove knows that is true, and I guess that's how we call it that, right? But corporate body, trust me, in listening to, even I think the person is wrong, I learn a lot, and I'm very aware of how harsh it sounds. As I'm so thankful that you pushed through, because you see that little gem that you got there, that what you're really looking for is the 3,773%, not the 10 years. That's why I hate the term long term, because we're not investing for time, we're investing for money. If I get the money now, why would I wait 10 years? I'm 10 years older in 10 years. But no want me then, they want me now. That's why also when I was asking the questions earlier, Like every time I ask questions on BrickTalk for anybody who sent a speaking request, if they just actually follow through and answer the questions, we will get somewhere. And I am dedicated to do it because if I'm up at midnight on a Friday night doing this, it needs to be very good to justify all the other things I could be doing on a Friday night. And that's just me. There's
Straight
also
up.
the night. So trust me, the space is here to help people. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you take the chance. And of course, we're still here. I'm not going to try and stay here forever, but we can take a little more time. If you want to talk, or if anybody have anything else I want to talk about, in terms of heroes for the market or any other hero type, would love to hear it. So send a speaking request if that is you. And
Interesting talk yesterday with my taxi man. And
yeah,
the whole that was interesting. Like I go in the car and my boss goes on the phone with him, Bridging. You know, taxi man love chat, brother. So I knew it was good. From I hear the conversation, I know someone will come talk to me about it. But for me in the car, my first thought was I got asked this man about Eddie Focal. And I said, well, you know, new transport authority something that they can do them license
the PPV license, the PPV
yeah,
test.
man. So
Yeah.
I'm going to ask him about it. But him jump on the phone with him Bridging, and him and him Bridging they talk, you know. And he must start school in Bridging upon accident. Him Bridging an accident, apparently. And him Bridging the taxi car drive, and he must say, make sure, say, when you go to thing there, when you go to the insurance, you tell them, say, yo, loss of use, the taxi mash up, the taxi you earn, so you have to get compensated on that. And then I'm going to try act like them a year that part there, so you have to bring it up, you have to make sure you push it forward, you can claim upon it, and I'm go on, you know. And then after I'm done, him say, no, you can't tell him say I drive now, you know. Tell him say no. So he might say him a car drive, whatever. And then my laugh at me and him say, where insurance? And him say key, them a old thief, them, you know. They move like them want gear up on everything. But in my head I'm laughing because I say it sounds like key is not paying out when you try and manufacture whatever claim. And that sounds good for me and my company. So I'm not going to ask about it. I can still ask about the A4 or something. And so jump off the phone, my boss say, I'm sorry, whatever. I'm telling the story about him bringing crash and yeah, of course, you know, big conversation. So I lead where I want to ask him about the PPV something. And I learned a lot. How taxi license, road license versus what they need and how the badge go. Yeah, there's the focus seems to be in good stead in that direction. Yeah, not much to expound upon. But
I'll expound. Not good.
No, meaning since the last time, I mean, it's a lot of the same way I understood it then. You just now understand more on the taxi thing, to be honest. Yeah, but just getting his view there and whatever. Yeah, it was interesting. It did sound positive. And it wasn't like when I was asking him, say, no really thing, no taxi man against it. So they still have the option to go and do the thing there, but then no, it sounds like you have an option to go in and do it, or do it from the system. But I want to do it from your phone or whatever.
As in from the system or like
the site.
from.
So go on the website. Yeah, so go on the website, and what they get then, they get license for them badge.
Let me get this straight.
They renew them badge.
Let me get this straight. Mm-hmm. Taximen have the option of either filling out the paper and going in themselves, doing the test in person.
No, I don't know the in-person test. That's the gap I think there. That's the next thing I want to ask about. I never actually run it down.
No. Well. Okay. You said that they have the option of doing X, Y, somewhere they have to go in. You said go in.
Him said thing there. Him say you can now do it on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah, him say that option.
It's the old option or on your phone or on your computer.
Phone. Yeah. And he was saying like he was talking. The conversation we had was how much sense it make.
It make a whole heap of sense.
No sense. No. I wanted to know if it makes sense for them. In their mind.
It does.
It does.
I want to say it, but I don't want to say it.
And because of what it is, it's a badge. It's a thing they hang up in them car.
Let me break for a moment because the sound you're making, I hear it.
Sorry.
Yeah, it load the feedback. The thing I don't want to say, I tried to find the right way. So the person holding the phone can do the test.
Yes.
And any phone call gets paid.
Yes.
Okay. They wouldn't do that though. They're taxmen.
Upstanding.
They're scions of society. And you big up all taxmen because I know good taxmen. I've
No
had
cut no
taxis.
line, no overtake, no process.
It's
You know,
just
Jamaican taxi man.
yeah,
Good license acts.
But I don't want
They
class a whole group of people. Taxmen get enough. I give them enough pressure
Stress.
that everybody else does. So they're big up the good taxmen and big up the ones who try their best to not be too bad. And for the rest of you wretches, some taxman wicked, no brother. I'm so sorry. Some taxman wicked. Some taxman wicked, brother. But I know this brother that run the Portmore. Anyway, that Eddie focal point is a strong point. So I am thinking even I'm happy you told that story that night. I'm thinking along the same lines because that's him thinking it works for him from him phone. That is a good. I did not know that. This is the first I hear that story to people. So wow. So he knew about it already?
Yeah, man. Him tell him about it, man. Say must go on the thing there. All you need for do when the license when the badge up and due, you just go on the site, do your thing, print off, and you go about your business.
Word.
And it's a badge. The thing that they hang in the car, that's the thing they're renewing. So it's the personal license. This taxi man is fit to drive as a taxi man. And every 2 years. And it's the thing them get the two things. So the road license, and that is what they get the pestering from police from. So you know, so everybody know if you take taxi, you go in a taxi and the thing hanging in the middle, in front of the that's what these certifying. So yeah.
That which is the driver really. They have to
the driver.
PPV
The driver
license.
can drive that exactly.
There are more people with PPV license than taximen. Remember that.
Yes, sir.
I have a PPV license.
You're breaking up again, bro.
Sorry, I was thinking there was something about the PPV licenses, but yeah, I would definitely in the last hour. Corporate body, have anything you want to ask about? Anything else you want to go through in any other points, or if anybody wants to send a speaking request for the last hour, I just have to. It might not be the last hour either. I that ending early thing kind of feel nice. So if nobody wants to send a speaking request for too long or too quickly, I have no issue wrapping up with the night.
No, Randy and I, thanks for all your help. It was a great conversation tonight.
Thank you very, very much. And I should add this at the end. I'll give you this since we spoke so much about grow, and you helped write another important.
Ricky point to bring across, boss.
Yeah, I'll say I'll guarantee you grow. Meaning I'm not giving you grow for free, but if I'm leaving it to you, if you do grow, finish it, thought wow that was a monumental waste of my money, I will give you back 100% of your money.
Money back, money back
guarantee.
Yeah,
I love it.
10 years. Not in 10 years. Like you'll get it the next day. Even if I don't know you, which I don't, I will ask your account number and transfer it to you.
Oh my God! All right, no problem. Thank you, guys.
All right,
You're very, very welcome. Anybody want to talk about?
I don't know how much.
Company? No, go ahead.
I don't.
No, I'll just tell people again, as usual. If anybody wants to send a speaking request, you can. We'll talk about any stock you want, and I would encourage people to take the chance for the free talk.
I don't know if she understands how much I love how that ended. With just the realization, the change in her voice when you just wait there, make it. It's not like just understanding that.
You know what's funny? She just tweet, "We don't invest for time, we invest for money."
I
She don't
retweeted it.
She don't
Imagine. But yeah. And
The teeth,
the
Shetty,
true
Shay,
depth
and Jerry
of
line.
where that point is, she don't get it yet.
Yeah.
And it's going to be it's going to be the thing that people often overlook from the grower because that sounds too simplistic. I think that's really it. It sounds so simplistic. And then when they repeat it as, but I mean, we say it all the time on the podcast. I mean, on this, people. But just everybody know where investment start. What's the most important thing in investing? Just that's a true point of all of that. We're going into quote why the time don't matter, why the money matter, and then the time come after. But she'll get it, and yeah, man, trust me.
Excited
But
to see
it's a
what kind of investor she becomes, like
yes.
over the next 6 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I wasn't joking, I said it to her. She's working harder than she needs to get what she wants. Yeah, she know the harder things already. She know the greater. She's working at
She
7
know the
or
macro.
8.
She know the
And
macro more than the micro.
yeah, man, she does 7 or 8, and for make sensible, consistent, deliberate profit, you only need for that like 2.
Mm-hmm. Too
Yeah.
smart.
So if you go if you go all the way to 7 with the effort and the understanding of what you need at 2, you can make significant profit. Anyway, so that's speaking request if you want to talk. And then you were saying something.
But that was it. But yeah, I don't know if she knows how much I love how that ended because of where we started and what it actually. And I know that I'm usually when I go into that mode, I'm on eggshells because I know that anything I say can be taken the wrong way, or the person does not get it, or if it comes off, if it doesn't, as I say, if the point doesn't finish, then boy, hot waste of time
Early,
it
if
feels
it
like.
ends at the wrong point,
Uh-huh.
oftentimes, well, I think you notice. That's why oftentimes I step in and I'll talk because I don't mind if it failed. Then, Randy was an asshole. The people who know me know that I'm not an asshole. I know that I'm not being mean. I know what I'm trying to do. But if it ended at the wrong point, it rough, boy. It rough.
Yep.
It worked. To learn a lot more, and yes, like millions. Anyway, let's move on from 2020. A hero, for a recent hero,
I can't. I'd have to say something went bad. I'm not really look up. Well,
can just be good.
I'll be a good. This year has been interesting, and the year I speak the least about it, about my returns. Interesting, right?
Yeah, welcome to the club. It's 2020. I think to seal 2020, I remember realizing by the end of 2020 how different our outlook was.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality
Oh
of it,
yes.
because we ended the year, but when I decided to put my nose down. Like put my nose down, meaning I got very deliberate about understanding the process, and it made me. It really showed itself in growth and in the market. And by the end of 2020, I remember thinking, there's no way people are really gonna think it's a bad year still. But I realized that we were not having the same experience across the market.
2021, the conversation was about how bad 2020 is.
2020 not only recovered but way up. So 2021, we're like, now we know how to fight in this thing. By that point, we're figuring out that every month lockdown, you're figuring out, all right, this dead and continue to be dead.
The plays were flowing,
Yes. In the middle of the market is down. And Jam T, I think for 2021 was a bit of a hero. 2020, 2021, both years, but I think 2021 more. Twenty 2021 for me was it was like a second swoop where you know more about the hero. Meaning, I think it's late 2021. I sold Janty. I started selling it. The directors obviously started selling before me. and by then understanding the principle so much of the effect, the possible effects of that and everything else, I just good example of like you actually call the hero for this time because it's just make a decision quickly just make a decision and not on blind basis but of understanding the principle of the market again and what is likely to happen and jump out at the right time. So it was a hero with a win and it was a hero by also knowing when to leave. Superman do always stick around.
Which one team you
about
buy
it
at that point? Wow. Andy?
Hello?
You're breaking up again, bro.
You hear me better?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So I was saying that the Jamty was interesting. I hate being as simple as interesting, but yeah, interesting in 2021 and 2022. I was thinking, 2020 and 2021. I was thinking of something. There was a company that that when everybody had the COVID dip, they seemed to dip. Was it Pulse? It was Pulse, right?
I think so.
Or was it Janty? Somebody had a split around that time.
Janty, no, I say two splits on J and thing there.
My J.
Yeah. In 2020.
20 March or thereabouts.
Yeah, did they actually split twice?
Is almost that was another lesson for me in terms of the people in the market. They had a split around the same time and everybody else dropped.
April 20, I said it looked like a drop, but it wasn't a drop.
It was a split.
It split. Yeah, man. So 6. Yeah, man. Jamty split twice. Yes, Jamty split twice.
Yes.
Yo, we made so much money off of Jamty, bro.
Yes. It was. That's why it had the recovery because everything looked like it was down. And you thought anybody
but this
said,
thing
the
was
market
live.
is down. But yeah, Jamty post split, it wasn't down.
It split, fly, and then fly again, split, and then fly again. Oh my god. 2020.
Yeah.
One. Start 2021. Jamty, I've seen out of buys at $2, bro.
And it split again later. It split again and
by and the run up after the split, a clear run up in 2021.
You're talking April 2020 after the thing split down to the 3-1. It split
in November. November, December.
No man, I'm talking March 2020, and then it went as high as $4 odd.
Oh yeah, man.
Then after spiking again late November, split and fly early 2021. Jeez,
bro. I'm seeing pages of buy on Jamty. But to sell if in there too, fast rich. But me that strike, Lumber. Jesus.
Also, the second split taught me a lot about the then market because it was the new market, I'd say, and how people were reacting. At that point, I'm thinking of the market as having matured a little bit from Wigton. It's like if you age investors coming into the market at a certain point, you have your pre-Wigton people, and you have your Wigton people. And I think maybe the next point now I put it to people. Still hear me, Danai?
Yeah, just chip out.
I think we'll be for this thing. I'm not even going to bother to try anymore the computer. All right, you hear me again?
Yep.
So it pretty much I learned the reality of the market. So by the time JamT came down with its split, the second split late 2020, that was it's why I ended 2020 with more than ample recovery. And I still had pulse, I believe. I still had some pulse then.
And I remember talking to you about it. I don't think I had any pulse then. 2021?
I had some
I
pulse
don't think
that
I
I'd
had
never
any.
sold, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'd bought back in and just kept. Yeah, my average was stupid. Yeah, it was pre-split pulse, so average was stupid low. It's like it was a pre-split low APP, low average price pre-split. It split.
You know, this will remind you of something very specific.
What's that?
Or pre-split pulse deal at Nevada.
Yeah, that was also another lesson, but that one I don't need to share with the world. But
that one I can't share.
But that was a good lesson in also the reality of the space. And in 2021, God, I grabbed this one, the hero.
2021 went off.
No, early 2021. What I was hoping to be the villain that get it comeuppance and dead. I was banking on from 2020, dying from longer than that, but looking at like it must dead now because COVID. Because at this point I'm like COVID is it. Like name COVID now, and then them dropping new versions all the time. So this is it. CPJ definitely dead another show. I don't know if they became a hero or them find them own hero, but my God. But
why?
Like the whole.
I won't repeat here again the words you said to me, but I agreed very strongly, and this dead thing looks like a buy.
Yeah.
People hated CPJ.
Yeah, man.
Because miss then COVID, people were vexed. The trading was,
I truly expected it to die. In air quotes.
Before somebody come to say.
Yeah, and it had an even better redemption story. Yeah, it's like, yo, let me, and I'm talking about the company. Yeah, I'm not even talking about the share price. The share price was wonderfully also. And that was a good one. That required heroism, but by then it's second nature to me. So yeah.
Oh yeah, this was firing and firing and firing, bro.
Yeah, it's just still.
I've seen selling gain to buy things that and some selling out at the separate about at 50, sell it at 80. I buy enough JamT, bro. Lumber sweeping in. It's all GK. Buy
Also,
somewhere GK at 80.
Also,
Carib Cement. Big up Carib Cement.
Yeah. Oh God. That was another little hero till it also became until it met the wrong villain.
Oh gosh.
Oh God.
Wow. Solid F. That split.
That split. That the fire
Lesson
and the
split. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
People learned.
Yeah, I learned a lot from that.
But people don't learn. It was a blunder. And another thing there. Me and Kirk bought Fontana. Talk about it like a week before. So we're gonna do it. See the walls in the queue. We're gonna knock them out. Buy it up to a certain point. Good. In the market. And then we forgot that the market is slow.
Yeah, well, I stopped thinking the market slow. I just have that. I have a more
measured view of it.
No, it's not slow. It's just it has its time.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly.
So what is its time?
Look at it for what it is. Because in truth, we sold out earlier than we should. Then the conversation came where we shouldn't have sell, and then the price do the thing we were expecting it to do, just on a different, just a very within the next week.
What was that? Which stock?
Fontana. Hold on. Let me get some. Where is it?
Which
It
one?
was before the move
Last
back
year or
up.
this year?
2021.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, clients got this better than I did.
Let them win.
I think September or so. Yeah, man.
The funny thing about Fontana for me so far, since it IPO'd, it is one of the stocks that I've been able. I think I would like to throw in a spare. Like I don't say I have the timing on it pretty good, but I have the timing on it pretty good. I know, guys. You can, if you're smart, if you're good, you can click this and say, quote it with that quote. Timing the market is better than timing the market. But let me tell you something. You have no idea what you're talking about. As somebody who knows what he's actually talking about, I am deliberately not saying a Fontana point. I wish I could. You know what? I have a chill session.
I know. I think I know the point you're talking about.
Yeah, I've said it
bro.
before or whatever. But yeah, I will make it clear at the chill session tomorrow to the girl subscribers. But if I remember. But Fontana is an interesting stock. It is a pre-mix of it's a premix of Spurtree and Fesco in terms of investors and the reactions.
I don't hear the Spurtree point. Why Spurtree? What? Tell me that later.
No, I think there's. I want to say in I don't take the easy out to say. I'll tell you later. Because also people hearing this, I don't leave them without the point. Anybody, I want to say it in the right way. I don't want to say too much.
Well, you can say it.
But people really love it. I put it that way. People
I know.
People really love Fontana, and people really love Spurtree.
Thing, so I'll see.
Yeah, people really love Spurtree. So I haven't heard anybody talk about any stock like Fontana till Spurtree. That I love it. Think of love.
Yeah, and Fesco had to think of all the work Fesco had to do to get to the point this today.
Well, Fesco don't have that deep love.
You don't have a love. It's like utility.
Yeah, people want them money and them hear about Fesco rise and them jumping and then get money off Fesco. It's very much them using and abusing. Dollar was just by this point everybody is what the next IPO, and this one it happened to be really good. The company is not a lame company; it's a good company, and it's being excited in a space that everybody can understand generally, and a lot of the industry people invested in it. For a lot of, we say it all the time. That dollar was the first investment for a lot of people that work in the industry, and also the first investment in a long while for a lot of the people that work in the industry. And so there's utility there, and so it's a lot of people bought it expecting a flip, and the flip that they expected they got. So they don't. So you hear some love fighting. Don't get me wrong. Some people love it, but you don't really hear the same level of love. But
I know exactly what you mean. Yes.
Yeah, man. But there's that love of Fontana, and the only thing I've heard since then in terms of that love is a Spurtree. Spurtree. I hear people talk about that. Them love them Spurtree. Them buy it at IPO and then get it. And me not sell my Spurtree. And yeah, it's not the same. People say, I'm not sell my dollar, but when you think it'll reach 3, it'll reach 6, or you'll sell it. Yeah.
I love to give trouble.
Well, Go ahead, it's your show.
No, I'm
Go
good,
ahead,
man.
Andy.
I'm good, man.
Go
I'm good,
ahead.
man.
Go ahead. No, but I don't.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah, it's a weirder thing. I wonder what will be the next one that will have that same level of love. You have loyal people. You have people loyal. A lot of edifocal
You got
investors are like
signals.
that.
The edifocal people believe, Trust me, they believe, man.
But I don't.
It's a different kind of belief. The belief seems to be from the utility. From I'm going to hold what I'm getting from this is much greater, and I can think that. Versus
And
I love the stock. And when I talk about the product, like it's the stock.
I notice something every time. I see people buying heavily, especially during those times when anything excited happening and a couple other things will be. I notice people buying a lot there. I notice people buying, and to me it appears to be a lot of retail, and they're buying heavily. And you realize it's people that like them really believe in it. JFB doesn't have that. But even that is its own thing. JFB don't seem to have that. People can't seem to wait to get out of it.
I don't know about that one day.
No, a lot of people, it don't get the same level of love. It look like
you don't get the love, you don't get the talk.
Yeah, I'm talking about the love. That's what I'm talking about.
Man. Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I look at JFP trading chart, and I take a step back, to be honest.
Why?
I know me alone have sense.
No, there are a few of us out there.
No, man. I know you alone either.
I know it's not me alone.
The buying looks stronger than the conversation around it. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
When I hear people talk about JFP, they talk about it as a failure or whatever. But then I just look at this trading chart and I say, people are buying though. It's so like, they got Fesco and thing there, right? And lumber every time.
Yeah, I tend not to think of lumber like Fesco. I wonder why that is.
All signals. I don't think of lumber the same, but all signals it has a weak IPO. Then
Signals did have a
joking.
weak
Signals took a while.
It was
2018, 2019. That was a year. Around a year.
Yeah. That's what usually happens. Or during the first quarter and close to the end of the first quarter. Yeah. And well, me and the girl got to talk about my wife, but if I remember that, I'll say
your wife or what?
The people. The wife for the explainer for what you just said.
Oh yeah, cool.
There's some similarities between our three, and it's not.
Well, I love when you say these things and I don't have to anymore.
Yeah. But you know what the beauty is? I know that people can think that we're talking about, well, like the patterns, trading business.
Yeah, man. I tell you, we are always conveniently technical analysts, but then also conveniently fundamental. It just depends who the next person is.
Yeah.
We sound too fundamental for the money we're making, and then we sound too technical for the money we're making.
I think 2021 is the year I really stopped caring. Just like I realized that, wait, by late 2021, for one thing, by that point, we locked down now for like 2 years. And a whole heap of people dead, I realized they're ratted. So you can just catch cold and the woman just dead. Why am I listening to other people that can just go home and catch cold and dead? And when the light bill comes, they're not paid. Yeah, it's like that stuff. Why concentrate on that?
The whole sport on negative energy, renewable.
Yeah. Oh God, JP's latest resource, bad mind. So, I think that's also a great step for me, because I realize most of the people also talking, not actually playing in the field and not actually out there doing anything. They're just.
And the weirdest part, so obvious. But
no, once you stop it, becomes very, very obvious. Yeah, and that for me is another a good lesson, because on X amount of energy you have, Now we some with the people in what kind of we just spoke about the last 3 years doing what some consider an important point in world history
Mhm.
of our lifetime, which affected a lot of markets badly. Yet I know for a fact that you ended the year very, very well up. I ended the year, I recovered wonderfully and ended the year wonderfully. And in 2021, gravy it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned the hero CPJ going from memory, but 400 odd percent, I think, for the year on
Mhm.
CPJ. And if you actually were investing in CPJ, you may have made more than 400 and odd percent last year. And there's so many others. There's so many others. I spoke. I trying to remember when I sold. I know no. I have to remember. I can check. I sold. I can check on my money JA. I sold the last of my pulse in 2021 also.
Mhm.
Funny enough, that was emotionally a much easier sale than Jam Tea.
Mhm. Mm.
Much easier sale. But yet, funny enough, I kept, or do I still keep it? I think I still have one pulse share, maybe.
Mm.
Literally just one.
At this
I
point,
think
I wonder
yeah.
where I keep that.
I kept it just to remind myself of the low APP I had.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to say it was something like 90 cents or 97 cents as the APP. I just kept one, but it was easy to sell. Like it was hard for me to sell Jam Tea, but that was like the ceiling of the lesson. Because the second I sold it, I felt free. I was like, wait, hold on. Oh, what was I just hotting up my head over?
Yo, the pulse play, the
Which
big
one?
one, where we just the play was we never had the money, right? If we went to it now,
No,
we could have
bro.
do it. No, hold on, we could have do it, right? What would you do it? Would you take all your money to do it?
Right
You get
now?
the play again in front of you, and you have to pull money from all the stocks you have
No.
to fund it.
For Pulse?
Would you do it?
Right now?
Yeah.
What's when you said the play? Is the same
We got
situation
the
then, or
same
Pulse
pulse.
where it is right now?
Oh, it's hot. That's that thing there. That's hot. No. So we have the same outlook on it as we did then. So we look at any stuff, and no, it's hard to say because we saw what happened with Pulse. So the answer is obviously yes. I just want a real pure answer. Will you pull all your money and you feel like something is going to happen to what we expected to happen to Pulse? Will you pull all your money from everywhere and put it on Pulse? I'll put
Right
on
now?
that company to do that right now.
I need a stronger reason than the Pulse. I need a stronger. It
Conviction
was a
than what you
different
had then.
time. Yeah, because also.
I know the stakes are different.
Yeah, the stakes are different. The ability is different. Why would I need to do that?
I know. Yeah, I know you'll be fine pulling out a lot of your money, but I want to know what would make you pull all your money for it. That's the thing there. Right. Hard to answer there, so harder to answer there. So
I cannot.
I know
That I
some
can
things that
answer.
could.
No. That's the question you're asking. What would I? What size? What sort of thing?
Yeah. And meaning forward looking, so you don't know we do whatever. Of course, as we always do, we just expect.
Yeah. That's a good one.
It's
What
the
would I
same
do for
question as
now?
last time, really. As what that thing
It
there?
is, yeah.
We want to
It is.
it still a beat
Sorry.
me because I haven't yet to do it, so I know it's a beat me.
What would I put everything on now? In other words, what is the thing? What level of conviction would cause me? What is my equivalent 3 years later, or 2 years later, 3 years later, pulse level of conviction?
Mm-hmm.
On market?
Yes, but I want to hear the aftermarket. I was thinking aftermarket for
The
myself.
world of
That would be much
off-market, you
easier
know it
for me.
though. Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. Off-market, you have an idea. It end on
Yeah.
market or whatever. But on market, I don't want to answer it. I can answer it. I don't want to answer it.
Why would you not do it? You do.
AMG. No, I don't know. I already know. I already know that that's the answer. I already know that's the follow-on question, and my answer is that yeah, that's a top level because I love that. I love that exercise. AMG. That level of conviction is what would make me do something like that. So why am I not doing it? I am. I just realized that you understand what I said just now different from what everybody else understanding.
Yes.
I'm talking about
completely.
the AMG level of conviction. I'm not saying AMG for everybody else listening. I would say that I understand that he knows why I say AMG for the level of conviction that I have. Yeah, well, put in other words, I'd have to see where I have so much conviction that listen, seeing 300, 400% in X time plus a heavy stake, like you've graduated into the dividends game.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to see something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I'd have to see something like that, like a move that would graduate me into the dividends game for me to
do it. And for you in that game, but you back out that game quickly.
Yeah, but there's no getting. There's no. It's the
No,
same
I mean
game.
not yet. I know, man. I mean, like, it's a strong stake now that's worth a lot more than you paid for it. Margin.
Yeah, we can go into the details tomorrow.
Oh yes, tomorrow is an interesting day. So,
yeah, I'm actually excited now. Yeah, because that's a great.
And I want to ask everybody, and I go stress the people and say, Jesus.
Anybody wants stress?
I wish Yannick was coming. I wish Yannick was coming to me. I don't think she is.
I hope she is, but even if she isn't, I mean, big up anyway.
I'd love an in-person conversation. I'd try pressure.
Oh God, me too. Anybody want the last of the talking? This is it. This is very much the last. Or this is a chance you really wanted to know what they think about GHL. This send it. We can talk about the GHL.
Well, that's stuff. Yeah, I think that's the most interesting stock split I've seen on the market.
Ooh, the manual split.
Yeah. Wait, so the deal is that you keep your shares. The price just falls.
The value is up, you know.
The value is up.
It is up. The value is up strongly too.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what their next move is going to be. NCB.
It must be it must be just in the whole stuff.
No man, I feel like I'm very interested to see what their move is because the giant have to move. And I don't think they have forgotten how to move. So and they have been delaying their moves, in my view, a little while. And it either means that either them can't move, so they're not delaying, or the move is gonna be bad with 7D.
Like it'll work out.
I'm very interested in seeing what that next move is.
Indeed.
Especially like their scale now, the scale that they're moving at now. And the team, the refreshing them team. Are you playing Souls, bro? It's okay. We will wrap.
Oh no, Souls are eating on that. You have to just can't be a fighter all the time.
I'm actually old. I know Souls is soulful. All right. If anybody wants to talk, they can send a speaker request. Otherwise, then I have a last hero in mind.
Last hero.
Something that you learn or earned or burned from the market.
Earned or burned. We'll find a stock.
You don't even have to really be a stock.
I hate that. I can't answer those questions really well.
I'll do one. Future hero. A point that I didn't want to forget. Mayberry's next. That bond raise that them doing. And then talking about, so it's going to be listed on the bond market. Like, a part of me is wondering, how do you say that's going to try and make the bond market exciting? Like is the second, is it the most boring market the JC has?
Mm-hmm.
You think they could actually push our bond market? Suppose they did to the bond market what they did to the junior market.
I think they can.
They,
It's just the will to
I
do it.
know they can. Are they interested in doing it?
That's the thing. I think it's the will to do it. I know they do favor. They do seem to favor equity. So,
But this isn't.
but then make it this.
But this
Bring it
isn't.
to
This is
bring it
not
to a level.
equity. This is not
I know.
equity.
But this is bonds being like equity. It's a very interesting thing. More, and they can mint on this. Do they want it?
Hold on, though. Think of what I just said. Suppose they do for the bond market.
I know, man. I'm agreeing.
But no, go to the next level, the next layer of that exact sentence. Like, what did they do for the junior market?
Make it. They started. Make it actually something viable.
Like them lists like more than half of the companies on it, right?
Yeah.
Suppose them lists debt for all of those companies on the junior, on the bond market.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that.
Beautiful. From them. And then from more than one side, everybody eats, and you know exactly what happens after that.
And of course,
Columbus.
Yeah. One more, but also just think of it that there could actually be, there's always not that many bonds on the market, that many listings on the board on JTrader. Some of them going to be priced lowly. Some of them going to have a nice thing. Some of them going to get redeemed higher.
Exactly.
You actually
There's actual
the
bond trading starts come out of that, and then more.
Jeez.
And then if you have a lively bond market, well, you know what? You always thought, hey, the ability to list your debt is a whole different layer. So you're the one who can know with money.
It's like they would unlock a brand new layer to the current.
It doesn't stop.
Game.
It does not stop.
AKA, imagine what they do for the bond market.
The bond market or the junior market.
Jeez.
If there's anybody for do it at them, you know. I've always wondered though, why not? Because they do have they do it. I mean, I say they seem to focus equity, but that's a lie. They do a lot of debt. It's not the thing you're going to hear about much because they don't have a bond market like that, or you know, really exciting for most people. But they do a lot of debt things.
But they do a
lot of debt things, and
so what? So right.
My question has always been why still? Why not?
Yeah.
And on bond market, actually, I have enough reading to do.
Yeah, well, me too. All right. Nobody else has said a speaker request, and I don't mind ending. No, unless then I have anything else you want to say?
No, I'm there. Everything good. If you guys want, let me not say that then. Yes, I have a lot I want to say, but save it for next week or after that. Again, if you want to learn this investment thing and you really want to do something like you want a strong goal, you want some level of understanding of the market, this thing sounds like magic to you, do the grow. I'm not saying for whatever. Trust me, he will learn. I don't know how much of those guarantees Randy want to give out, but the truth is he's been giving them for quite a while, and I'll wait to see. You pay on nobody yet, Randy?
No, never.
Yeah, all right. So, well worth it, and trust me, you'll learn a lot. So do it. If you don't really want advice, if you don't really want to learn, and you want somebody to tell you what to do, jump for thehalladvisor.com. Book a session. We can talk about investments, whatever goal you have, your portfolio, or which direction you want to take it, and we'll see what the best things are, or we can go towards that. But even then, the strongest recommendation, do grow too. If you do a session with me, I can give you a discount code. If you do a session, if you do grow, you can have a discount to my sessions. But it's good to know. The more you know, the more we can do, the more I can help you with. So yeah, man, do the grower and jump over thehalladvisor.com, book a session, and we can get started and we're ready to go for your investments.
Even if they're 10 years now.
I do a lot of those. I do a lot
Or
of those.
3,000 odd percent.
You know what's interesting? When I explain what 10 years long real is, a lot of people get scared by it because I don't think anybody talks about short long-term investments for real. Then they'll tell
Yeah.
people that it's kind of more risky still from
Yeah.
certain angles. They tell you the
Yeah.
long term like it cuts out risk, then lying to you. The
Yeah.
long term can bite you, and it often bites you hotter because you waited you for 5 years already and then things mash up. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you lose. Yeah. 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 There's
Much
some of
bad.
that I grow when I talk about the reality of it. It's just that a lot of people haven't measured it before. But anyway, we've been talking more than enough for tonight. Thank you guys very much. Thank you for your points, and thank you, Danai, for doing this with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this Brick Talk. If you listen to this in the future, either on YouTube or on the podcast stream, big up you. Hello. And yes, we have been putting the audio back up on the podcast stream. So subscribe to it, earningseasonpodcast.com. Thank you guys very much again, and good night.
Earning season, bro.